couple minutes early, folks. We're here. Start show 41 in 2 minutes. Tell your friends, tell your grandmas, tell your cousins. Special tonight. Tag 3 friends in the post. Win prize.
Need a lighting person.
Special night tonight, folks. We start in 2 minutes. 2 minutes till showtime, Phil. We are live, though. Music of Damon, our Scruggs in the background.
Can you hear me?
I can't hear you, yes.
Check 1, 2, 3, 6.
Checking me nuggets. Sound good. Looks like another minute. I'm sure.
Okay, we need to someday.
It's 4 o'clock, folks. It's 4 o'clock, Phil.
Hello, John.
Hello, Phil. What's going on, buddy?
It's Friday.
It's Friday. April something, right? April, May? What month is it? June?
No, it ain't nothing like that. There's a lot of snow outside. Where do you live?
I live in Illinois, where there is a lot of snow outside.
Yeah,
Apparently, there's a lot of snow all the way to Texas right now.
Yeah, I know. I heard that.
Yep.
Happy,
Hey, Joe Peel's out there checking. The first one to check in tonight was Joe Peel, folks. Joe Peel, you get high five next time we see you. 2 of them. Can't wait to see you next time, bud.
Thank you, Joe. First of all, I want to apologize for last week. It's basically Joe's fault. He said he wanted to do the sports. It was my fault. But anyway, I want to apologize for a bad show. But
every week I have an album in the background. You know, tonight's Captain and Tennille. I put that there because it rhymes with Joe Peel. Captain and Joe Peel and Tennille, or Captain and Joe Peel. That's what it is. Captain and Joe Peel.
Wait till you see the sports segment tonight. I got it all set up. Okay, I'm trying to fix. Still fix.
404, 405 will do sports.
No, I'm not talking about. Okay.
Tonight's a big show.
What's happening, John?
A lot of our friends are going to be on the show tonight. A lot of our good chums.
I mean, some of them have different names if you really think about it.
The city agriculturalist.
Yeah, I mean, really think about it. They have multiple different names if you really talk to them.
You do, and the more you get to know the first performer that comes on, well, the second performer, they all have a lot of different names. That's a good point.
Well,
except for maybe the last guest later, but the first 3 guests that we have on tonight go by different things, such as Cowboy in the Bathtub.
No, don't give away secret. No, yeah,
Cowboy in the Bathtub. He's going to be in just a few minutes. We're going to bring him in in just
Canada.
From Canada, international show tonight, folks. International show coming from Canada to Louisiana tonight. We're going to span the globe.
I thought they couldn't zoom through Canada because of the virus.
You can zoom across. You can zoom now. That's why we're doing the show.
Are you sure?
Where's your mask? Hey, folks at the farm. I know who that is. That's Topher Grace, buddy. How's it going out there, Toph? What's up, buddy? Man, good to see everybody. I do have a special deal tonight. Tag 3 of your friends in the comment section, and we'll put you in a drawing to win some sort of prize. Now, we haven't sent any of the prizes out yet since week 1, but eventually we'll send out prizes. Or when we see you next, I don't know.
I'm up for it. I have some cool stuff.
Tag 3 friends in the post that you think that would enjoy this show and get them watching tonight for when the show that we get.
You get a free gift and the shipping. Free gift and shipping is $19.95.
That's shipping and handling, folks. So you have a special thing lined up for tonight's news segment. You need a minute to get ready for that?
For what?
For the news segment tonight. Or not the news segment, the sports segment.
No. That's down the line.
So you don't
Oh,
want to do
down the
yeah.
line. No.
We'll
You
find
know,
we'll find the gap somewhere in
you know,
between this and that once we start having guests. Because the guests, we have at
you
least
know.
3 guests guaranteed tonight, and we're gonna have a couple special guests possibly.
It could be like a little dead show, a little longer than thought. We might have,
Kind of an edge show,
uh,
an edge show for ed heads.
yeah. I'm psyched. We prepared for the show. At least I did. Unfortunately, last weekend, I blame Joe Peel. Sorry,
So,
I'm teasing you, Joe.
you want to say anything else about last weekend before
No, I want to apologize for being. You shouldn't.
I was rude last week to you. I went back and I watched the beginning of the show, and we were both kind of buzzed.
Hey, drop it. What do
I
you
was
think?
kind of rude to you, so let's not worry. Let's just drop it.
It's not General Hospital. Come on, go back.
No, generally it's not a hospital. All right, ding dong, ding dong. All right. So what segment are we going to do first? Should we move right on to 5 records and bring Mike in here so we can have a little more extra time with him?
Yes, let's do the albums. I'm ready for the albums.
Well, get your album together. I'm gonna let Mike in the room, and Mike Lynch, folks, the cowboy in the bathtub, a Canadian country singer, we might call him. He is an accidental discovery I made on the internet whenever I was watching live stuff one night, and Mike's show just happened to pop up in my feed. So while Mike's getting his stuff together there, he's pushing the buttons and making everything happen, and make sure everything's hooked up right. We'll 5 records every week. Me and Phil, and lately we have a guest. He's got to work on his audio, which he'll get figured out. Every week we talk about albums. We talk about 5 records, folks, and we bring somebody in the room, bringing in guests. Tonight our guest is our good friend Mike Lynch from Manitoba, Canada, or someplace in Canada. Hold on, he's muted. Got to get him unmuted here. Hold on, you're muted, Mike. Push it again, man. There you go.
What's that, John?
That's good. We can hear you, bud. How are you doing, man? Good to see you.
I'm right there.
You're here. Yeah, cheers.
Oh, yeah. I've been
Canada. Yeah.
Oh, hell, man. Wow, good to have you back, buddy. Good to see you back in the zone again. Been catching your shows from time to time again, seeing you're still playing and keeping the faith and the good music flowing. We love it. We love it down here in Illinois. Trying to spread your name around like butter on toast down here so everybody can check it out. And I hope that a few of us have a few more of us know who you are at this point in time.
Well, man, like I always said, I have nothing better to do on Friday, so it's perfect. I love it. We have a great time. My crowd, we have a solid audience. Well, seem to be. As long as the Toronto Maple Leafs aren't on, we seem to have a good crowd. If the Toronto Maple Leafs are playing, we're just like 5 people watching.
Music can't beat sports. We played in bars and stuff, and if you're playing on the night when there's the playoff game here or something, you might as well just play for yourself.
Oh, Mike, wait till the sports segment comes up. You better watch the show because I got something for you.
Oh, yeah?
Hockey fan. Oh, yeah.
More goals than Wayne Gretzky, my friends. More goals than Wayne Gretzky. He could have if he wanted to. Anyway, so what's been going on up there? You guys are snowed in, I would believe.
Yeah, we got about maybe 2 feet of snow up here in Ontario, Canada. Man. So we're about a half an hour from Niagara Falls.
Okay,
wow.
You're just north of Niagara Falls, you said, or that direction up there. Yep, cool.
That's where my parents had their honeymoon.
I remember you said that last time, Phil.
Good to see, I repeated myself.
Our underwriter took the night off.
Hey, Mike. Look at the album I made for you.
Oh, Mike. My God.
You are now an official Phil Strode record.
Did you see that?
Oh, yeah. Little one for you.
That looks great. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Who's the actual, who did you paint over?
Well, I never look really, so it would be Al Cooper.
They're all scratched. He won't pay over a good record. They're all scratched or something, man.
Correct.
I don't even know who Al Cooper is. I mean, he sounds like.
Neither do I. Yeah. I've painted over some. It might be good, but it's scratch. It ain't worth nothing.
Yeah. So Mike came on the show tonight to do 5 records with us and see what happens. We'll start there. You got 5
Who's
albums?
Up?
You got 5 albums?
Yeah. Well, I picked out like 6 albums or 7 just so.
Hey,
Since I changed
Hey,
my
it's
mind.
called 5.
that's the exchange rate. Hold on, that's
Oh,
the exchange
it's
rate.
like the dollar.
Hey,
It's Canada.
Phil,
It's
but
like the dollar.
No, it's the
I just thought
exchange
maybe I'd
rate.
get an
Dollar doesn't match
encore,
up there,
so I have
man.
another
What
one
the
ready. You know?
7? 5 and 7. He's already trying to pull this crap.
Canada, man. It's the whole tax differential between Canada and U.S. That's all right.
Oh yeah, you said
We'll let you
5, I
start,
said
Mike.
7. That's
That's
exactly
why.
what happened.
That's why the United States and they spell Phil with 1 L. In Canada 2 L's. I mean, it's always something.
Isn't there an O in there somewhere too? The
You
fill
see,
off?
yeah, oh yeah, with a
That
little
should be an O
umlaut
there.
on
It's like,
top.
why
Yeah.
is there an O?
Yeah.
I don't know why they put that stupid O in there.
All right. Cheers. All right, your turn.
We're gonna let Mike go first tonight since he brought 7. So we'll let him. We'll differentiate a little bit we'll let him go
7.
first.
Want me to start? I forget what I do, John. You want me just to talk about this album for
Basically, we just kind of we show the artwork and we just maybe if it means something to us, we say a few words. We don't get too in depth. I mean, if you got a little story to tell about, that's fine, and we'll just see what happens.
Okay. Let me see. Let me see what my first one can be. Okay. Well, why don't we just start out with something really safe here? Really safe. I was. This is. You guys love this album, right?
Oh yeah. After the gold rush.
Yeah, that's become one of my favorites to listen to when we're playing Scrabble or whatever. Eh?
I love
Neil.
Scrabble. Yeah, I
love
love
it.
Scrabble.
Me and Patty would be dead without Scrabble. There's just, or at least our brains would be fried.
Right on.
So you're from Canada and you play guitar. You know Neil Young?
So I don't know Neil Young because he lives closer to you, I think, actually.
John, what kind of question was that? Yeah.
Well, you're from Chicago. You know all those Chicago guys. I don't know.
Actually, John, you know what's funny about that is I was at this tavern, this Old Town Tavern not too far from here, and I see this old guy with a long beard like this, and he's got a dog, like the dog is almost as big as he is. And I'm like, and for some reason he saw I had a guitar and he started talking to me, and he says, yeah, you know what? I'm meeting Neil Young this weekend. And I go, what? He goes, yeah, he's a friend of mine. I always figured because he saw that I had a guitar, he must figure that he's got to tell his story that he knows Neil Young, right?
Yeah, I'm sure. I got stories about Neil Young. I can tell him later. I'll tell him later. My first record tonight is one I found in my collection. I'm not sure why I have it in my collection. It's by a fellow named Marv Herzog. And what this is an old guy and a big guy on a little horse wearing lederhosen.
Oh,
and the album's called Country. Such hits as Out Behind the Barn, Ragtime Annie, and Bumpsy Daisy. Very random. 25 cents. I picked it up probably for the album cover. I just love that. Old big guy on a little horse and lederhosen.
That horse is hurting. Man, look at his head going, man. That dude had too many beers, man. It's got to be Germany or Bavaria or something like that.
Oktoberfest. I mean, the album's called Country. It's kind of a country record. He's definitely a traditional country singer. But the choice of photographs for the album cover. And the sad horse and everything. I mean,
I like those overalls. They look like something out of like Sweden or something like that. Yeah, Sweden.
It is. It's lederhosen.
What is that?
It's lederhosen. It's a traditional Bavarian outfit. Okay, Phil, you're up, buddy. And Phil goes away. So go ahead, Mike.
Oh, Phil, are you there?
Phil has a questionable internet connection. He'll be back in a second. But that's all right, Mike. You go ahead and give us another one if you got one, bud.
Okay. Well, okay. The next one I have here is this is I've only owned this album for about a year now, maybe a year and a half. But this is Wilf Carter, and he's a Canadian troubadour. Was born in Nova Scotia, the East Coast, and then he made his way out to he was born in 1906. This guy, okay. Wow. And the cool thing about this album, it's called 32 Wonderful Years, And this album actually came out in 1964.
Wow.
So, and he'd already had been quite successful. You know, he was in New York City doing some radio shows and stuff like that. Anyway, he ended up back in Alberta and bought a ranch, and that's the kind of life that he lived for the rest of his life. So that's Will Carter. His music is so good. I love his songs.
Is it like Hank Williams? Is like Hank Williams era kind of stuff? Or, I mean, like 30s, 40s? What?
Yeah, it's kind of like, I mean, Hank Snow probably listened to him, you know?
Sure, yeah.
And stuff like that. So
I love it.
This guy is I have 2 of these albums we bought at the thrift store. We keep asking them, ordering more, but they don't know when they're coming in.
I've never heard of him. I've never heard of Will Carter. Welcome back, Phil.
Yeah, keep zooming.
You're up, buddy.
So. Okay.
We did a little swilly on the order, but we'll come back to it.
Yeah.
We're good. I might have done it, but Genesis, Foxtrot.
Yeah. Early Genesis. Wow.
That's hip, eh?
Is it Peter Gabriel Genesis?
Yes. You know what? I'm not a 1,000,000% sure.
Well, nobody's 1,000,000% sure, Phil.
No, I mean, here's the funny thing, and it's one of my favorite songs. It's my.
How much you borrowed?
But here's the point of the whole synopsis. That looks like you, John, doesn't it?
Oh, it looks like me? Oh, thanks. If I shade,
That's the Phil Collins.
Yeah, that's Peter Gabriel.
That's when you said I looked like Phil Collins earlier. You were actually giving me the Phil Collins, the credit when Phil Collins.
Yeah, right
hair.
there.
Yeah, cool.
That's you. That's Genesis. Who's up?
I'll go. I got this Seals and Croft record. It's not the one with all the songs on it that everybody
Summer
knows.
Breeze makes me feel fine.
Sudan Village. I guess they were trying to raise attention to the Sudan probably when they made the album. It's got a version of Arkansas Traveler on it. You know the old song Arkansas Traveler about the guy who comes up and he says, "Hey, your roof's leaking." And he says, "Yeah, I fix it, but when it stops raining, it don't leak no more." Anyway, go ahead.
No, I didn't know what you.
Arkansas Traveler. It's a long story. I'll tell you next time.
Okay.
All right, I got one here, guys. Or John, are you going? Philip, you going?
You're up.
You're up now. We're doing we're doing a figure 8.
I got lost. I got lost in the shuffle again. I usually do.
It's surprisingly complicated with 3 people.
It really is. This is Harry Chapin. Yeah. You guys might be surprised that I like his music. I don't know, but I like
there's no right and wrong answer of what we pick.
He's a very important singer-songwriter.
I think if you like stories with a great, like, there's something about Harry Chapin. I don't know what it is about him. I discovered him maybe 20 years ago, but there's something about his songwriting is really special. Mm-hmm. He's got a good voice, but it's not about his voice. It's about his whole thing. The songs that he writes are really bizarre songs.
And if you're a father,
he's always have a really great ending, eh?
If you're a father or a son, then the Cat's and Cradle will always touch you in a way. No matter, all you got to be as a father or a son, and Cat's Cradle is important.
What do you got? A silver spoon?
Yeah, I got a silver spoon in my butt. Come on, jeez, man, where'd you come from? Northern Illinois?
Hey there.
Whose turn is it? I think it's supposed to be Phil after Mike. It is surprisingly complicated with 3 people.
I'm okay with it.
All right. Who's up? Me? All right. I just thought I think I had Simon and Garfunkel before, but love the cover. Very underrated, and the gentleman and with the bridge, and I love the mellowness of the Boxer. I love the Boxer.
Oh, those are anthem songs.
Killer.
Yeah.
Killer. The Sound of Silence.
Oh.
You put that on in your room. I love it'll give you goose. Okay.
Yeah. That happens on our show, The Sound of Silence, but it's just dead air. This one's I like this one for the cover. Another one I bought for the cover. 24 original happening hits. It's got Wooly Bully on it and Cherry. I think we're
Mine was better.
It's a Land of a Thousand Dances by Wilson Pickett. It's an old best of album. And on the back of it, you could cut out this coupon on the back, and you could order another album if you cut this coupon out and like cut the bottom off and send it in. And you could order another album for 50 cents less than this album cost.
What?
But then you had to cut the album
wow.
up. You know?
Yeah, why would you want to do that, eh?
I don't know.
Well,
it was only $2 when it was originally sold. I just think it's cool. The 24 happening hits, folks. And it's really some odd dancing happening.
Not only happening, they're original. And
it's the original artist producing, which is kind of cool on a lot of it. Yeah, which is really good. The Crows, the Chantels, all kinds of fun stuff.
You know, your art might be on a cereal box or something like that one day. I wouldn't be surprised, John.
My face on a milk carton.
Don't underestimate yourself.
All right, Mike's up next.
Oh yeah, before I go today, guys, I just want to say, John, you've been putting on a hell of a show there on Facebook Live, eh?
Thanks, Mike. I appreciate it.
Just fantastic paintings.
Thanks, man.
And that one you write I saw it today. It's amazing.
It was actually a concept for an album cover, but it wasn't what they were looking for. But then it went crazy on Facebook, and I sold it last night. So you can't. I mean, there's a balance to all of it, you know.
Yeah, you gotta get paid, eh? You gotta get paid.
We do, yeah, exactly.
Well, I wasn't gonna go with this, but I found this one in the I found this guy. His name is Valdi, and he's a Canadian, a bit of an icon up here in the the folk music circles and all that kind of stuff. But what? You got to be a music snob to like this guy, okay?
No,
it's interesting to me, like what can happen up there that we won't hear about down here. You know, in certain circles, this is the same kind of music that's being played in two different places, but we don't get it as quickly. We don't get a lot of stuff from Canada unless it's Bryan Adams or Neil Young or somebody. You know, we don't hear a lot about stuff from up there.
Well, I think you're lucky if you don't get that. You know, I mean, it really. I mean, what's today's commercial radio has just become like so like, okay, classic rock, great. You're giving a whole lot of old guys a retirement package. That's fantastic.
Yeah, 200 songs that'll play. 200 songs that'll play forever.
Yeah, but we have our choices to do what we want to.
When you're in Chicago, you got all kinds of radio there, Phil. You're doing all right. Yeah.
Well, I don't really. I mean, yeah, I know. I understand. I don't have. I like rate. I don't know. We have our choices. What we want.
Earl Bostic, the Earl of Bostic. It's a.
What the heck is that one?
Earl Bostic.
The Earl of Bostic. I probably got this in people donate to me record collection, so I end up getting. Well, hey Chester, what's up? Good to see you too, Chester. Yeah, I just want that's okay. I like the painting on the front of that one. We'll keep moving.
Earl Bostic.
Earl of Bostic. Yeah.
It's Earl Bostic. As opposed to the Duke of Earl?
Yeah. Phil has a horrible internet connection tonight. I bet there's ice on his internet wires. Going to let him freeze for a little bit. We'll be fine.
John, this is why I prepared 7 albums.
Exactly. We knew this was going to be important. We knew this was going to be part of the show tonight.
I don't know. This is funny. I don't know why I just found this. I remember when this record came out, we had to get everybody. I don't know what time. I can't remember what age I was. It was like high school. So everybody went to the movie, of course, eh? Rattling Hum.
Oh yeah. So that was filmed in a big stadium down here in Arizona.
Is that right?
The Arizona Cardinal Stadium now, and my friend got to go to that show for $5.
No kidding,
because they wanted to fill the stadium, so they sold tickets for $5 that night. So he was there that night. Yeah.
Yeah, it has like a full. Look at John. It's got a full
yeah.
thing there. I mean, this was the hit. If you wanted to be cool in high school, you had to be listening to that record.
It blew up. It was big radio here for it. Still is really a lot of there's four or 5 songs that are constantly on the radio still off that album. You know, it's important.
Yeah.
My last one, I guess I can show the front of it. I don't know if I can show the back of it. We'll probably show it anyway. But it's the band called Mandrill, Mandrill, like the mandrill, like the baboon, kind of the monkey named Mandrill. It's a kind of a funk band, 70s rock, Afro beat kind of stuff. I love it. Well, it's the painting. It's like outer space and this crazy monkey dude. And then the inside is just fantastic painting as well.
Oh, wow.
Like all the members of the band, like holding angels, and that might be Jesus over here. I'm not sure. I don't know. It's crazy. There's like a hand with an eyeball on it. I mean, just crazy creative artwork for the album.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's neat. Oh, eh? Wow.
Very, very funky kind of 70s rock or 70s dance kind of stuff. The back I can just show briefly because it's got a lot of nudity on it. But it's another crazy, amazing painting of like people in space and nursing a baby and stuff. But yeah, I love albums because the art's so big. It's like all that, you get all that art whenever you get it, you know, and I don't know, they're starting to produce a lot more vinyl. A lot of people are releasing on vinyl this season, you know, these times.
Yeah, there's a guy down not too far from here. There's like all kinds of places opening up where they're selling just all brand new records. And it's like brand new records. You go in there though, right now the prices are so high. Like they want like 40, 50 bucks for a vinyl, you know. Like they're classics usually, right? But
we just went through like a period of time where all the record stores were closing down and they couldn't sell them anymore. And then all of a sudden everybody wants to buy records again. All the mom and pop stores are gone. So the new ones are popping up. We lost one of our great record stores here in Decatur. It's a bummer, but hopefully they'll be back. Hopefully Phil will be back. He's not even checking in yet, so we're gonna let him figure that out. He comes and goes, man. So you're playing tonight. You got a big show tonight, the wine show.
Yeah, we're doing the ice because up here there's well, last year about this time we played a concert for the Ice Wine Festival. Mm-hmm. So it was so right in this area there, John, they grow grapes and they don't pull them out till they freeze. I didn't catch the whole process because I'm not in the business, but they wait till they freeze or get really, really, really cold, and then they pick them just at the right time, and then they harvest them. Wow. I think that's how probably everyone in Niagara watching is going to go, this guy has no idea what he's talking about.
You know, it's in the archives now, so they'll figure it out. Say
yeah, that's okay. I like to drink the stuff, so it's good.
You have one more record, or is that all 7 of them?
Oh, what did I pick out here? Well, how about I'm really right down the mainstream here today, so I might as well just keep going with it.
Sure.
How about this record? Big City.
Girl. Yeah.
Big City, turn me loose and set me free.
Is that where
I'm tired.
Let me ask you a question, Mike. Your roots in music, like, is that kind of where you came up from? Was like the Merle Haggard and stuff like that? I mean, you strike me as a kind of roadhouse singer, but you got you got heart in your voice. It's a little more than I get from some people,
I'd say I definitely didn't listen to those. Well, there goes my clock. I definitely didn't listen to a lot of that music when I was growing up. My parents weren't really into music, and so I was just kind of out on their own, looking for music. So I don't know how I became or started to sing the kind of music that I play. So yeah, I really didn't even know hardly any Johnny Cash records or anything. So it was just I don't know. Thanks for asking. I don't know why I do what I do. I'm just the guy I am, I guess.
We evolved through music. I started from a weird place and I ended up in a bluegrass scene. I could never have guessed that I was young. But music's just a funny ride to take where we get see what happens next. And we're talking to my good friend Mike Lynch here, you guys. I pinned his name in the comments. He puts on a live show almost every Friday. And you got Some Girls. I'm gonna let you finish that in a second, but I want to make sure you know who you are.
You saw that?
No, I saw. I can name that one at 1 inch of the cover. I can tell you what that one was. Yeah, Some Girls.
Yeah, that's a good one. Patty just walked up here and said, "You got to show this record off."
Nice. Hey, Patty, how you doing?
Stones fan. Like she's like you. It sounds like you and her could sit and talk about all the Stones songs. And I can tell you I know a fair bit of the Stones, but
I got a musical brain. I got a lot of stuff in there that's pretty useless. But if somebody wants to talk about music or art with me, I can go all night.
Yeah, no kidding, man. Yeah, I don't know. I don't look at it like, oh, I was like this or artist, or I want to be like. I just kind of tried to amalgamate what I liked about every musician that I've ever listened to, and then just tried to stick it in there somehow. I don't know how you become yourself, eh?
Let me ask you this. I mentioned, you mentioned Chicago Farmer in the message earlier. Are you aware of who Chicago Farmer is?
Not really, actually, to be honest with you. But I know that you're a fan. I've heard you mention him before, so I didn't. So to be honest with you, I don't know who he is.
Well, please
He's a
listen
local
to him.
singer.
He's fantastic.
He's a local
Friend of
singer.
ours.
Here he is. He's our friend Cody, but he's a local singer here in Central Illinois that we kind of all follow around and check out and enjoy his music. And he was the one I was watching the night that his show ended and your show started. So Cody, this is my friend Mike. Mike, this is my friend Cody. Just two musicians from different countries.
What's up, brother?
Hey, Cody, how are you?
Good, man. How are you? Excellent selections, by the way.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you.
And I had asked
I like
Mike.
I like your hat, by the way.
Oh, thanks a lot. Likewise.
Cody's one for hats, man. I tell you, yeah, he is. Yeah, I like a lot of my musician friends. I like nice hats. Yeah, go figure. Go figure.
I love a good hat, eh?
Yeah.
Well,
When you
happy
see a
Friday,
good hat,
folks.
you got when you're in a shop somewhere and you see a good hat, you got to get it. You got to buy it.
I wore this
Absolutely.
crazy one for about 6 years. It's just yeah.
That
You know,
hat.
Looking good, Phil. Looking good.
How you doing, Cody, on a Friday night?
I'm
So-
hanging, man.
real
Great
quick
to see you. Great to see you.
before we
Good
get
to be
started
in the zone.
pulling Cody's here real quick, I want to thank Mike big time for being part of the 5 Records. That's a big deal, Mike, to come on the show and do what we do. I know I asked you to bring your guitar tonight, and we didn't necessarily run out of time. If you feel like you have a song in you, I will make everybody else be quiet. But what I'm going to do is I'm encouraging everybody that when we finish the show tonight, we're all going to parade over to your stage after the show and see your show after this. And anybody who comes and checks in tonight, if I see you over on Mike Lynch's page tonight, I'm going to give you big kudos. It's a big deal.
You know what, John? I'm going to leave the spotlight to Cody there, and I thank you so much for asking again, because
Hey.
I love seeing you guys. I miss you guys.
Hey, you're welcome anytime, Mike. We're
Anytime,
all
Michael.
friends now. You
Yeah,
get down here, we get up there.
You guys still got the energy? Maybe we'll see you at the tub later on. Starts at 8 o'clock my time, 7 o'clock your time.
Yep, on the Mike Lynch show. I pinned his thing, folks. So please check out Mike Lynch, folks. And thank you again, Mike, for being part of the show. Again, 5
Thank you,
Records.
Michael.
Cheers.
See you, fellas. Bye for now.
Cheers,
Thanks,
Mike.
John.
He's a good dude.
He is a good dude. And accidental
Good
discovery. Kind of like Cody the Chicago Farmer. I accidentally discovered him one day walking along a trail at a summer camp for kids.
You told me you found him in a bathtub.
No, that was the last guy. Sometimes it's a bathtub, sometimes it's along a trail side.
That's how I've built my career, one accident at a time.
yeah. That's great. I was looking at those videos I was listening to one earlier. That was about 2009 when I first ran across your music, Cody, and I think it was the same day I saw Jake. You guys were playing on the campgrounds. Not even the campground stage. It was that trail side stage at summer camp at Three Sisters.
There's that little slab of concrete there.
Yeah, you'd be lucky if you had like a canopy over you that weekend. But yeah.
For some reason,
welcome.
every time I played on that little slab of concrete, I knocked out the power. It was just me and my guitar, but every setup we knocked out the power somehow. I don't know how it
I
happened.
think, and it would be like you or Jake doing that, and for some reason, an acoustic guitar with a DI line or something would knock everything out of the system. It doesn't make any sense. Are you
Well,
still
thanks
there,
for
Phil?
having me in the zone. I've been a big fan.
Oh, we've been keeping up with what you've been doing, Cody, and we've been wanting to have you back for weeks. I kind of looked back at some of the earlier footage of you coming on the show, and we appreciate just you in general. So thanks for coming around, man. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Good to see you.
It's a bunch of nonsense. We've had talk about music and talk about whatever sports. Some great musicians. Miss you, Cody. Miss the field notes and miss our friends who are watching wherever there might be. Hey, this guy was from Canada.
Yeah,
John
that's so
found him in
cool.
a bathtub.
We're going from Niagara to Louisiana tonight because at the end of the
Yeah,
show,
I'm gonna check that out later.
the stuff all night, music all night, friends coming in from time to time throughout the whole evening tonight.
Yeah. I really dug the field notes. I've seen you as Cody, the solo artist, But you with your band, the Field Notes, are just with Jake Willis and the other two cats, Cody.
Yeah, it's Jake Willis, Charlie Harris, and Cody Jensen, and we had a blast, man. I just love being in that band. It's so much fun, and being solo for so long, I loved it, and I just after a while, I started feeling like maybe slightly going through the motions, which is something you never really want to do. So I decided we need to change this thing around and try something new. And it was a big risk for sure, because I was starting to have a little success with the solo thing, and then I just kind of decided to put a wrench in that and start a band. But for me, it's great to be able to do both. I can people can come to the show and sit down and listen, and then I can play with the band, and people can come to the show and groove and dance and cut
Being
loose.
locked up.
It's great to be able to be on both sides of it.
Yeah, it adds a lot to. We've all come up with you doing the solo act thing and your music and your songs. But when you put somebody, be it Old Shoe or anybody, Wildermore or now the Field Notes behind what you're doing, it changes the dynamic of your music, and it adds to it. And the chemistry with the Field Notes, of course, with Jake, you've always been chemists together. You guys have had history together,
Yeah.
But bringing Cody and Charlie out of the hole too. Those guys are amazing musicians to be around, and it's got to be inspiring,
Yeah, I've been very blessed to be surrounded by so many creative people for so long. But after a while, it's just like, why mesh with these creative souls every once in a while? Let's just do something, more often,
Yeah.
instead of just a specialty occasion or something like with Old Shoe. I just wanted to do something like all the time,
Ooh.
I'm getting older too. I'm having more fun, and the more older I get, it's crazy.
Ooh.
At least now I can remember most of the fun.
Ooh, yeah. We're all great. You with Old Shoe, great goosebumps and great music. It might be have people in Canada and throughout the United States, but you're from Illinois, Cody?
Now the Field Notes have one album, Flyover Country. That's Field Notes album, correct?
I recorded that with the band of Heathens, actually.
That's the Heathens, the band of Heathens. Do
Yeah.
you have plans on doing an album with the Field Notes? I mean, are you guys?
Yeah,
recording?
we're actually we're going in the studio on Tuesday to record a couple new tunes. We found this studio out in the middle of the country outside Urbana, and so it's gonna be the first time the Field Notes have tackled the studio, and a couple new tunes that I really like, and the band's meshing really well. And not only are they incredibly talented, but they're always up for working and putting in the work, and so.
Is it a studio that those guys have worked with before? The Bone Jugs maybe did some work with, or do they know anything?
No, it's actually a guy from Chicago who came back to his roots in Central Illinois and just kind of turned this barn into a studio. So we figured Chicago farmer, sing some songs in a barn. What could go wrong? It seems pretty fitting. So
pretty appropriate, yeah, for sure. I've been paying attention to the new songs and really enjoying them. You played the new twist a couple weeks ago, maybe, and I didn't catch you saying it was your song at the beginning. I was spaced out, and my brain came in about a couple measures in, and I thought for sure it was somebody else's song. Cody, I'm gonna give you that. It's a good song, and not to say that your songs aren't good. I just had
no, I get it.
Yeah,
listen. I had never heard it before, so I'm immediately saying, "Where's this song from?" And then you start singing about smashing the digital machine, and I was like, "Man, this is too weird." I was there, but that song's really great, man. It feels really good. It's good to hear some new stuff coming out of you during this time, and amazing.
It feels good. I was kind of lazy when this all went down, so I was just kind of like, how do you put this into words? But and that was a song I actually started writing years ago, and I didn't really know what it meant. And then after the pandemic hit, then I'm like, okay, I know what this means now. Yeah. So then I kind of smoothed out the rough edges on it and tweaked a few things. And it's weird. I started writing it a couple of years ago and didn't know why or where it came from. And now it makes perfect sense. And so I finished it. It's crazy.
It was cool before its time. Yeah, it was cool before its time before I even knew it. Songs have to evolve that way sometimes, I'm sure.
Yeah.
You have pieces of songs around that you're working on, I'm sure. Are you stay pretty active with your writing?
Yeah, there's lots of pieces always hanging around everywhere, just like just like art, there's these pieces put out there, spread out everywhere, and you just got to eventually put them all together and make the puzzle and see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of puzzle and put it together, when albums crack, I did a. I
that's
put it.
awesome.
I
That's
glued
cool.
it, and it's a farmer album. And it cracked in a piece, so I cracked the rest of it. And it's all
Yeah,
glued in. Yeah, so
that's amazing, Phil. I love
That's
it.
even more of an art piece than it already was, Phil. That's cool, man.
Yeah, I like the break aparts. I like it.
It looks really much cooler in person. But anyway.
No, it looks awesome. I love it, man.
As an artist, I'm always super excited about other people's artwork, what they do, no matter how they create. If they're creating something, as an artist, you see their creation, and it's intriguing to wonder, your process, Phil. I'm just, yeah. Enough about you, Phil.
I love both you guys' backgrounds. I tried to compete here with my tapestry.
A lot of color, a lot of stuff. Phil's in his studio, and there's so many things down there. And my studio is like this, but it changes usually every week.
Nice.
That's a nice koozie. I couldn't find my red one.
I've been to the John Griffin Art Studio. I haven't been to the Phil Studio. Hopefully, I can soon sometime.
Well, I've told you we live right by the venue and a roundhouse.
Yeah, man.
If you're ever in Aurora, there's an extra bed at Phil's house. It's pretty a hospitable place. Very nice. Yeah.
You got to be a Cub fan, Cody.
What's that?
Got to be a Cub fan.
Yeah, man.
I know you are.
A hard time with that because the state bird, Phil.
Oh, you Cardinal fan, you son of a gun.
Cody has gotten his mail. Go Cubs. That's like the Cubby. Go Cubbies.
We haven't had a sports segment yet, have we?
No, we have not had a sports segment yet, Phil.
Ed's a Cub fan too.
You guys can just talk about. Yeah, Ed's a Cub fan too. So you guys just keep talking about Cubs throughout the whole night, and maybe that'll give him a little luck this year, huh?
I'm a pretty hardcore Cub fan, but I think Ed's got me beat. He's like.
I got you both beat, or we're all together. That's all.
You got more songs about the Cubs though.
Hey, you can't cut in my sports segment yet.
Yeah.
Come on, I got a list.
I'm saving it till later, Phil. I want a late night drunk sports segment right before the weather report.
That's right. I'll be Harry Carey.
I don't get into it. I'm kind of like an opening day guy, but you guys are like, as soon as spring training starts, it's on. I'm
the same way. I like a couple ball games throughout the year, but I'd rather go see a show or two. I'm more
of a long season.
I try not to miss a Cody show at the Castle, but I'll miss a whole bunch of Cardinals games. It's just I'm not dedicated. Yeah.
Hey Cody, what the heck are the Cubs doing? I have no clue.
What's that?
Cubs are bailing out. They have no. Yeah, we got Arrieta back. We got Stroke back. Yeah. Oh, boy.
Last time you were on the show, have you been on the show twice or just once, Cody?
What's that?
You've been on the show once or twice? Just once?
Just my second time.
The one night that you came on, I had to on a laptop screen because I was set up outside somewhere that night. And then it was a few weeks after that we saw you at that rained out, or wasn't rained out, but the rain show at Mackey's that we did, that last big hurrah of the spring, I guess that was, or whenever that was. Or was that the fall? I don't remember when that was. Jeez. Time is a weird object right now.
Yeah, when we finally did get to play in 2020, it pretty much rained on us every time. Kicking us while we were down a little bit. But what are you going to do? We're getting back at it.
It was telling us to take a break, slow down, write some music, make some new art. When you come back, it'll be awesome and fresh, and it'll explode. When you come back out, we have to get to be in front of people again.
Yeah, I think we're turning the corner. We're getting closer.
Mm-hmm. I saw Jake got his shot last week, so I was proud. I was super excited to see that.
I mean,
yeah.
You go down south, everything.
Different people in different places are reacting differently. That's all we can all say about that. Yeah, we're trying to do our best, and that's what we're trying to encourage. You can't look what everybody else is doing and compare yourself to that. You're going to end up being just another Walmart shopper, and you don't want to be that. So.
Yeah, the last couple times I got to see some live music was at Mackey's. It was kind of with Field Notes and Jake Willis and Cody at Mackey's Hideout in McHenry. And then once at the venue in Aurora, and it gave me goosebumps. That was some killer stuff with his voice and the band playing.
No, I don't think I've even introduced our guest yet at all. I don't people know who he is.
Oh.
This guy Cody that we're talking to. I didn't introduce him really. I just we started talking, and Mike was there still. I kind of got completely. If you just tune in, folks, like if you're from out of state or out of country or wherever, this is our good friend Cody Dekoff, a Chicago farmer, as he's known amongst most people. and as he signs his name even sometimes, Cody Farmer.
That's Cody.
A good friend of ours.
That's Farmer. Oh,
how many shows do you think you've seen? Netta just gave hearts. She's giving hearts over here on the thing, so that's a good sign. Netta's out there. This week, I did kind of something special this week for Cody and Netta because I gave a donation to Cody's show a couple nights ago or whenever he played, and I gave him an amount. I was like, I want to give him this amount tonight, and then a few minutes later on the show, he said something about like, if you pledge the same amount, I'll send you this stuff. Well, I was like, oh, and Amy was like, no, we don't want the stuff. We just want to send him the money. And not that we don't like the stuff, but we're just trying to support the music. And so he sends me the stuff. So what do I do with the stuff? I took it and I painted on it and I sent it back to him.
It was awesome.
I made him a one-of-a-kind field notes koozie. Netta wanted me to do a painting of all four of your faces. And I was like, oh, I don't know about that. And then I just sat down with those things and it just happened. I was like, oh, I want to paint these guys.
Right on.
And they're two. I did two of them, only two. I won't do any more. Only two of them, and because it was just kind of a special occasion. I got lots of koozies, and there was nothing against a new koozie, but I don't know what to do with all these koozies, Farmer. You know.
Netta's right. She said best gift ever. Yeah, it's my first time I'm watching everything. What everybody writes. It's pretty cool.
We have storage. We have a storage unit just for koozies that we've gotten in the last 20 years.
Well, I know. Yeah, just the ones you handed you, right?
Yeah.
Ditto. I looked through them today.
What do you have? ChicagoFarmerMusic.com? Is that what it is? ChicagoFarmer.com?
That's correct.
ChicagoFarmer.com, you guys. I know you all know who he is. I know that we're all kind of in the same boat here, but if you're not sure who he is, please go out and just check out what he does. Listen to a couple of songs. If you're not sure about it, just listen to a couple songs, man. I promise you, you're gonna come away with something that you enjoy. I do. It gives me his music gives me a lot of faith in where I come from, and I didn't have that for a while, and it's just a real positive reinforcement of our Midwestern upbringing in a sense, right? Does that make sense to say that? I don't know. I'm not trying to kiss your ass. I just appreciate what you do.
Keep going.
But that's what you are to me. You're somebody who came along in a time when I was unsure of what the hell I was doing back in Illinois again, and you said, hey, it's Illinois. Right. And he said it loud, then I said it loud with you, then everybody else said it loud with us.
Hey, wait a minute, that's a song.
It is a song, and I can't wait to get back into a room where we can all sing at the top of our lungs. I never sing that loudly or that full of feeling and emotion as whenever you play those songs, Cody, and we all sing along. That's all I'm going to say about that, but it's
I just a couple days ago, I guess about a year ago, Valentine's Day, last Valentine's Day 2020, we played at the Castle, and I just got one of those Facebook memories, and there was a big sing along for the Deer in the Sky song. It was so loud and beautiful and sweaty and crazy and off, but yet so on, and it made me pretty emotional. It was about a year ago, and so that's what I definitely miss the most is just the crowd and the performers becoming one. It's just a beautiful thing. And I don't feel like I ever took it for granted. Every time it happened, I knew how lucky and special it was. So I don't think I ever took it for granted, but I just didn't think if it ever stopped that I would miss it this much. So
there's a lot of people that are still waiting. I know you've made new fans just because of the online stuff. I mean, we try to spread your stuff around as best we can. And when we do get back to it, it's going to feel really good. When we finally feel good about being in that crowd again, it's going to feel really good, Yeah.
Yeah, as artists and as Illinoisans and Midwesterners and Americans, we just, we can't stop doing what we love in some capacity. So we can't do it the way we want to do it, but we're all still making art. We're still making music. We're adapting to the times, and hopefully we'll come out on the other side a little bit stronger and a little more appreciative of everybody and everything. I hope.
Earlier when you went to your black screen, you turned the lights off. I heard your guitar in the room. It's in the room. I heard. And it sounded really good, Cody.
Oh God, what a hint! What a hint!
I got it right here. I don't know what you got.
I don't put pressure on people, but if you'd like to sing a song, I'll put your mic on spotlight and let people get a little bit of this Chicago Farmer music in their soul. And we love you, Cody. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
So I usually scream, high and whiny. I'll try not to do that. I'll try to just play a song simply, which isn't easy for me to hold back, but we'll see. But this is a song that I started riding the night John Prine died, which was April 7th, 2020. And I guess we had been pretty hard into the pandemic for about 3 weeks, maybe maybe a little bit longer. I don't remember. We were on lockdown for like 3 weeks, and just all the uncertainty and the confusion about it all. And throughout the day, these are things that went down, and then capped it off at the end of the day with one of my heroes passing away because of this whole stupid thing. So I wrote this, and we'll do this one. The day I saw an old friend of a friend of a friend, and we both wondered when we would see you again. And it's no surprising we ain't talking too much, with the distance rising, falling out of touch. The day I heard a joke about a joke about a joke, got it from second and smoke. I laughed so hard I almost choked. And it's no surprising we ain't laughing too much. Got a fever that's rising, we're falling out of touch. Today I had a drink with a drink with a drink, with every push and pull I see, a little further past the brink. And it's no surprising we ain't drinking too much, with the emptiness rising, falling out of touch. The day I heard a lie about a lie about a lie, and it began to multiply from another out of touch guy. And it's no surprising he's been boasting too much, with the numbers rising, we're falling out of touch. The day I had a dream about a dream about a dream, and I realized what it means. Been too much time in between dreams, and it's no surprising we ain't sleeping too much. There's a restlessness rising, falling out of touch. I lost an old friend. Of a friend of a friend.
Naked as the eyes of a clown, Cody. That's a beautiful song. Beautiful song. My
Right
goodness.
on, Cody. Thank you. My friend.
Ready to
Go
go.
Cubbies.
Let's go.
We will try again.
Oh, somebody's trying to video call me. Not right now, Damon. Okay.
That was beautiful.
That was wonderful. Yeah, Cody, sounds good, man. People are happy about that. Got some hearts flying on the screen, everything, all the happy faces and smiles.
Sweet. That was the mellow version.
It's the one-man version of it. That's the, yeah. That has to be hard. When that happened, gosh, that was pretty intense moment to think about that at the beginning of all. It made it so real, I guess, in a way. Everybody's looking up to John Prine these days, and we're all enjoying him so much. And it's just, he's old man as he was, but it's just sad to have him gone.
Well, it used to be kind of a joke when they said, I like that band, that Chicago Farmer.
Oh, I love those guys. Hey,
Yeah, I love those guys, yeah. But now he does have a band, and it's fantastic.
Sure actually applies now.
Yeah. It's fantastic solo and with his band.
Yeah, after 20 years, you can't really change the name, You're kind of stuck with it after a while, so. Then we added the field notes, which I think has got a good ring to it.
Now, I went online and I typed in the Field Notes. There's another band called The Field Notes by itself.
Yeah, but are they one word or two?
I didn't pay attention to that, but I was like, well, so I went to their page and I'm like, well, I wonder if this is them. It's not them. Okay, well, the last post was like 10 or 11 years ago, though, so it might not be even the Field Notes anymore.
Yeah,
and you're not the Field Notes, you're Chicago Farmer and the Field Notes.
Right. Yeah.
It's a whole different situation,
Oh,
Put the name together, spread it out, capital. I mean, there's.
It's like there's Queen and Queensryche. They're completely two different things,
That's just true.
Queensryche. Whoa, Cody.
Yeah. We have a band down here called Black Queen. And it's just exactly what it sounds like. It's an African American guy doing Queen songs, but it's so good.
Oh, I bet.
The Queen show is very good. Yeah.
Say to Cody.
Black Queen. And there's probably a whole bunch of other bands.
Cody and Kimber like White Dogs too. Yeah.
We do. We like all dogs.
Yeah. Ditto.
Yeah, my
That's a cutie.
My daughter was sending me pictures of dogs today that she's seen that are adoptable right now. We don't have one right now, but we miss our pup of it. Yeah. People are excited. The hearts are flying. That really sounds really good, Cody. It's good to see you very much. So, I mean, what's next for you guys? What's coming up for you?
We love dogs too. That's probably the best thing about, if anything came out of this pandemic, is our pup's getting old and we got to spend a lot of extra time with the pup. So that's good. This week we're going into the studio to make some Chicago Farm and the Field Notes sounds. It could turn into a couple singles. It could turn into an EP. It could eventually turn into a full album. Don't really know. We're just going to go for it and wing it and put our 4 creative heads together and see what happens. And then the week after that, starting in March, I'll be back to my Tuesday night live streams from the Rose Bowl Tavern. And we're getting a lot of offers to play this summer outside. So we're going to take as many as we can that we feel are worthy and safe enough to do, and just keep for the best and keeping in touch with our friends, which makes the time go by a little better.
Which reminds me, I'm going to send you a link to a guy pretty soon who does a festival in July, and he was wanting me to let you know that he was excited about what you do. So I'll set you up at some point. No worries. I'm not going to show. I just want he wanted me to tell you that it's a good one over in Alton, which is a good stop. Alton's a good stop.
Right on. I'm glad you still got that old school hat. That's an OG.
Say this is probably I think this was the second one I got, but the plastic show, and I washed it last week because it was thinking, it was creamy and it was had this gross stuff growing on the inside of it.
Yeah, you gotta do it once. Unfortunately, you gotta do it once in a while.
Put it in the water and I scrubbed it down, but whenever I scrubbed it down, I tore the whole front end of it off. So it's like it's still attached here, but not here. So it's got another good year in it probably.
Yeah, another decade. That's not even in the top 10 of worst shaped
no.
Chicago farmer hats I've seen. I've seen some really nasty ones.
Rich down there in Missouri, his hat is gross. His
Yeah,
hat, you got
yeah.
real-
Zach Swinterman's got a good one, and
Zach's got a good one. Yep.
been a few that have been on the farm and the factory for the last decade or so that are looking really good.
Yeah, I wore it a lot. Cody. We appreciate it for sure. And everything you got going on, man. And thanks for the music tonight and everything.
Yeah, man.
Ed's supposed to check in pretty soon here. You got to go right away.
Nope, I'm just gotta go. I gotta go hunt and gather dinner for me and the missus here shortly.
It is about dinner time, so I'm gonna bring a surprise guest in here.
Look at that handsome fella.
Oh, this is the Wednesday night six strings party time. He's getting it. We got sound too, Ed. What's up, buddy?
Gather dinner for me and the missus here shortly.
What's
up?
Yeah.
Handsome fella.
Boom.
What's up? What's up, handsome?
How we doing, guys?
All right.
Hey, how are you?
Yeah,
man?
good, man.
What's up, buddy? Have to maybe
Yeah, not much,
turn the
man.
radio down.
Finished up dinner with the baby.
Oh, yeah. How's that going, man?
Ah, there we go. Oh, I love that little guy. What is it?
Rally dude, man. Did you get that at a game, Cody?
That thing's amazing.
Was that from a game? Did you get that at a game?
No, this guy Ian Matthau from Cincinnati. He was in the band called Buffalo Wobbs and the Priceville Hustle one time, and he goes to all these flea markets and stuff. And he's kind of like a picker and a scavenger. And I was playing a gig down there one night, and he just brought this to me and gave it to me, and
It looks like way back in the day they were like, "Come to Puppet Night at Wrigley Field."
Yeah, he's a huge Reds fan. I always love it when people from other teams,
Sorry.
give you love. That's awesome.
You're good, Ed. You got
There
your
we go. Sorry.
It's okay. You were echoing like you were watching the video at the same time. It's okay.
Yeah, I had just turned it on, so I was trying to figure out how to do all this. I'm technological wizard.
Welcome to the zone, Edward David Anderson. Our good
Yeah,
friend from, same kind of area as Cody is. It was kind of a trick to put you guys together tonight. Just kind of happened. You both responded this week, so that's pretty awesome. It worked out that way,
Yeah, man. I don't know if you're speaking of a geographical area, but I'm actually in Havana, Illinois.
I know that now. From not well previously in the days of old.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm out in the Sand Hills, dude. I'm out near where you grew up, Cody, kind of, right?
Yeah, not too far.
Delvin.
Havana area. Is that where you guys kind of moved out towards Havana?
Yeah, we're a few miles outside of Havana, on some acres, and very cold, and not getting outside too much these days, unfortunately. I don't know about Cody, but it's
Yeah, that's a beautiful area there along the river.
yeah, it really is, man. We dig it. I think it's been a really good positive thing for us. I mean, like, just honestly, having something to do as far as getting the house ready and moving and everything during the pandemic. It sort of just gave us something to focus on instead of focusing on the fact that there's no work, or like we're scared for our loved ones and everything. So yeah, we sort of threw ourselves into the move, and it's been really good. It's been sort of weird to not meet a ton of people around here because we really just haven't been, out mingling so much.
Yeah.
But definitely been a good positive experience. We dig it.
Everybody's been indoors. All of my paintings are of the outdoors, outside of buildings now because everybody's inside of them. They're not out anymore. So it's starting to evolve into like, I'm looking out the window at stuff,
I know it's weird, man. This is the first winter I've done up here in I think 7 or 8 years. So I haven't spent this much time inside since 7 or 8 years. So but I don't know. The thing that's been good is working on a new recording and stuff, and sort of got like stuff happening with my ears, and I've been able to stay busy with that, and that's been kind of cool. And obviously our child is going to be 18 months here soon, and so we're chasing her around pretty much all the time. So that's happening, and but it's cool. It's good. Everything's good. How does this hostess? I don't know. What am I doing?
You shouldn't have to push too many buttons. Hopefully I'm not doing anything. I was trying to put a link in the feed so people could know who you were, because
I see. Yep.
we don't have any kind of production crew here. It's all done by hand.
No.
Yeah, of course. You guys are kicking ass.
Are you Roll Tide or what?
I mean, I guess. I don't, and most of my friends from Alabama know that I'm not really a whole lot into football. So, but I know it's a religion, something against them. As you all know, I'm more of a baseball guy.
All right, you and Cody go Cubbies.
Yeah, Cubs. I mean, that's honestly, as far as sports go, that's, I try to get on the golf course a couple times a summer. Other than that, it's baseball, and that's about as far as I go with sports anymore.
Okay.
We are here about music and art. That's what it all comes down to. We give Phil a few minutes each week to talk about sports, but we come back about the music and
I
the
know.
art, crazy festival scene, and the people we get to hang out with that we don't get to hang out with, and then we bring them all here, and they're over there talking in a little feed that's going up sideways there, and it just gives people an opportunity to see everybody, that know we're okay first of all, and that and then we see their comments, so we know they're okay. It's a good connection.
Yeah.
This crazy digital world we're living in right now, the future.
How do I see other people's comments on this?
You have to open up your Facebook thing and look at the Facebook Live, because it's
I
only
see,
the Facebook comment that it's going. That's where the show's at. That's where like people are like dancing and.
Oh, I see. That's what I had done before, and then I screwed up the whole entire production by having the audio up.
This is all incredibly as completely unprofessional as we can get, and all for fun. You know what it comes down to. And Cody was just gracing us with.
Hey Cody, how's it going, dude? I mean, like, how are you? I know I haven't really talked to a whole lot of I don't really talk to people. But like, yeah, how's it? I mean, musician friends. I don't even know how everybody's like dealing in there. How you doing and stuff?
I'm good, man. We usually, even on a slow year, probably play 20 shows together.
Yeah,
it's
sure.
crazy.
Not
to
to
mention
mention
running into you at Diggers and whatnot on random nights. But
after the castle anytime.
We're doing all right, just trying to bear down. The live streams have been good.
Yeah.
Still to this day weird, but
of course,
getting by. Been writing a few tunes and putting it all together.
Good.
There's a somber moment at the end of these good songs that we're hearing. As the live streamer watcher goes, there's a moment of there's something missing when it ends. You want to scream and shout and hear the people around you screaming and shouting. And that's just not. It's so abstract to that part of it without that part,
Yeah, it's
like
something you could get used to. That's for sure. It's a weird feeling.
Yeah, like you, Ed. I play solo and now have a band too, so that's pretty cool that I can kind of do both things.
Yeah, man.
And I got a couple compadres that I can bounce ideas off of, and so it's a whole other world, as you know. But it's been good for me.
Yeah, of course. And you get to play with them a little bit, even still, too, right? So on some of the streams, you guys get
Yeah, the rhythm section's from Urbana, which is just 45 minutes away. So they show up and usually join me for like 5 or 6 songs, and that's about as most normal as I've felt, is getting in the car and driving to a bar and playing for an hour and a half. It's just like I suppose I would survive if I didn't get to do that, but it sure helps.
Yeah, it's like
it's a super efficient use of a 4-piece, because you got Cody Jensen on the guitar, on the mandolin, drums, and keyboard most nights.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we mix it up.
But it looks funny as musicians. Cody looks like he's in a church. Ed looks like he's in a cave. So the musicians are it looks really funny.
I was trying to keep up with John with all the color. This is a 3D tapestry that I got in Asheville.
Dude, I got a heady tapestry back here, bro. It's just so bright. Like, it's so bright though, and you can see my heady tapestry. But then I'm like brighter than.
All right,
that's a good one.
Right on it.
Game, yeah.
Is this like blinding? If I took off my hat, the shine would blind people.
Yeah, we were in a little hippie shop in Asheville, which Ed knows all about. Asheville, used to live there. Indeed. And Kimber showed me around Asheville for her birthday. We went on a little trip, and we went in this hippie shop, and they had these 3D tapestries. So we bought one. Now, like, when we party a little bit, have a good time, we come down here and look at our 3D tapestries, and like, whoa, bro, it was a good time.
Yeah.
It's a whole lot of looking at walls these days, that's for sure.
Cody, you were saying driving to that gig is like sort of feeling normal. Yeah. I played a live stream maybe a couple ones ago. I went and did it in Havana at my friend April has these renovated lofts, and they were the old bank in Havana.
Yeah.
And, so she's like put all this time and effort into this. And so I went up there and I set up and I played in this cool old, what used to be a bank, and had a couple of beers and
Yeah.
and broke down and loaded my car back up, and I was like, this feels strangely familiar. Like it was. And then there's a bar right next to it called the Stag, and I so just wanted. It felt like whatever, like it's very Diggers. It's very Diggers like. It just felt almost like I should go in there, but I came home. But it felt very familiar, and I like you. It's not easy doing something for so long and so much, and just having it sort of disappear is very, very strange. It's very surreal. Yeah.
I hear you, man. I saw that one. It sounded great. Looked great too.
Oh yeah, nice. Thank you. Yeah, that was fun, man.
I bet it sounds really good in there.
It sounded really good. It was just fun to get out and, like I said, go like take the instrument out of the case somewhere else. You know, I that album that I put out about a year ago, I was revisiting it recently because I'm gonna play it in its entirety on the next stream because it's like the 1 year anniversary of its release and flop. Because it came out on a Friday, and by Monday, every venue in the world was closed.
Yeah.
There were no release shows. There was no nothing, you know. And so I'm going to revisit it again on my next stream and play it. But hearing it and hearing actual applause, you were talking about like at the end of the songs.
Yeah.
I started getting like choked up, like listening to it because it was like almost overwhelming to hear like feedback instant, like from a performance, you know, like it's just, and I pretty much cry over everything anyway these days.
I think that's a part of the performing artist or musician alike is that reaction that you get from people. And if it's all of a sudden it's just gone, you know, it's just not there at all.
Yeah.
The hearts and the thumbs are great. You know, the Facebook feedback and the hearts and thumbs are great and stuff. That's wonderful, but it's never going to feel the way that we want to feel.
Hell no.
Who we are, you know.
I got like overwhelmed with emotion just like hearing a crowd clapping for my stuff, you know. It was just weird. Yeah I imagine like if I get into a position where myself or the band is playing and it feels natural and it's good and there's a crowd again and it's normal and there's a good response, I might feel overwhelmed in person by that just because it's been so long, you know. It's just
I could ask both of you guys that question, like how that's going to feel when you go back, like you guys now you're out of practice because you're both playing, you're both writing music, and we're performing for us and online. We see that, but then it's going to be interesting to walk down that stage again and have people there, and it's going to feel good, guys. I think
incredible. It'll probably just be like I might even be nervous or something, which I don't think I've been nervous ever, really that much. You know, I think that when I was young and I was doing it and I had big gigs, I was too dumb to realize how cool and how big of a deal it was, and I was probably somewhat a little bit buzzed, you know, like, and not really even, so I get a little nervous doing the streams because I feel like a little out of my comfort zone. I think that being in front of a lot of people again will feel incredible, but I think that I might feel a little shaken, a little nervous because it's been, you know, and I hardly even, I haven't been drunk in like a year. So it's
the double door is moving. The double door is moving to a new venue.
I know it.
Chicago. Yeah,
up by the Riv.
I saw the fire there. Back in the day.
Man,
Joe Shannon, back in the day.
That was one of my favorites.
Starting to interrupt, but yeah. Anyway,
we're going to come to the shows when the shows start happening, and we're going to come there. We're not going to judge you. We're going to be so excited to see you.
The venue in Aurora is going to happen.
Any show we've been to, it's the time warp. We'll be back, and when we get back, you know,
it'll feel good. It'll probably take a couple. I don't know. It probably won't take long. It'll feel very natural, pretty quick. But just maybe just walking out there or something might feel a little nerve-wracking. I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah. I think my first gigs back are probably going to be in somebody's backyard with like 20 people. So you know, I'm sure we'll ease back into it. Yeah, but hopefully sooner than later we'll be at, you know, all those old haunts and venues, and we can pack them in there. That will definitely be overwhelming, I'm sure. I can't imagine. But
festivals too, man. I can't wait. I hope this summer, you know, like
outdoors,
this all works and we can do this. And we're trying to put together Black Dirt Music Festival and figure that out. And other festivals are sort of rethinking their plan. And I just want as many things to happen as possible.
It's like the flip of the coin at the Super Bowl. We really don't know, do we?
Nah, man. That's the scary thing, is it's very uncertain.
Yeah. There's no right and wrong answer. We don't know. We're hoping. I want to. I want you guys to jam. I miss
When we
Farmer.
do,
I miss Ed. I miss your bands. I miss your solo acts. You guys are killer musicians.
First time I saw Ed play, first time I saw Ed Anderson play was with Backyard Tire Fire. It was at the Decatur Celebration they used to have every year, and my band was actually on the adjacent stage in between your sets. So like we played together all afternoon. Like my band played for a set, and then your band played for a set, and we were like right down the road. And then we went back and forth like because there were we did 2 or 3 different sets that afternoon, and we were sandwiched between each other. That's the first time I walked up on a Backyard Tire Fire.
Oh, really?
I didn't know who you were at all. I think I knew where you were coming from, and I may have done like a tiniest bit of research, but I wanted to check it out. You were playing some Neil Young song for the first time. Something awesome. It was like, yeah.
Imagine that.
Like a full-on Crazy Horse show, basically, you know. If you did
that's awesome.
Oh, it always blows my mind every time.
That festival's huge, the Decatur Celebration. I couldn't believe it when I went there the first time. It was like slammed and food vendors for like miles and 10 stages.
We've had like Charlie Daniels and the Commodores and Blind Melon play. We'd have big bands play it.
Wow.
The last couple of years, though, they started charging people to come in, and it turned away from a free festival to a ticket thing.
Oh, really?
Even though it was only like $6, people were whining out there, and they were crazy, upset about it.
I can see that after it being free for so long.
Yeah, it kind of killed the event. They tried to make more. They were just trying to make a little more money off of it. It wasn't working, and they didn't do it this year. Obviously, nobody did anything. But it's iffy if we'll get it back. And it's that's been going on since I was a kid here in Decatur.
Yeah, that was a cool fest.
Always been free and always been random as can be.
Mm-hmm.
I had fried alligator there. And then I had lots of beers, and then I obnoxiously rhymed gator and Decatur like 65 times during the maybe that's why they stopped it and started charging people. I have no idea.
Hey, you find ways to do that, Cody, to bring the locale into the situation and make it.
I mean, Cajun Creole food in Decatur. Who would have thought? It was like delicious.
It's kind of like a little taste of Decatur. There's always been kind of a good variety of weird shit you can try to eat.
It's like having shrimp at Blue Ox.
Yeah, shrimp in middle of Wisconsin.
Well, hey, dudes and peeps, I'm going to go get Mrs. and I are getting takeout dinner tonight, so I'm going to roll out. It's awesome to see you guys.
Yeah, man. Tell Kimber we said hey.
I will.
Bye, Cody.
Kim, Amy.
Hi, Ed.
Everybody.
Hey, Amy. How are you?
Good.
Thanks. Thank you very much, Cody, for coming on the show. We'll see
Thank you, Cody.
My
You
pleasure.
have a great night.
We'll be there at your next gig, bud.
Hi, Cody.
Later.
That's how to do it. That's good. He has good production value on his stuff.
Wow, you did like a pan out or something.
He just closed his laptop.
Oh, is that what that was?
Yeah. What's going on? Edward David Anderson, folks. Backyard Tire Fire, Magic Box, you name it. Black Dirt Revival, Edward David Anderson by himself, Ed Anderson, if you know from the old days.
Yeah.
Here's my dog, Ed. Yeah, I know you like dogs.
Aww.
Last time I talked to you, Ed, yeah, I know. Mine's a little dog. He's not a poodle, but he's a little, he's my dog, man.
Adorable.
I know you like animals, man.
Good Lord. I would, that dog is so cute. It almost looks like a stuffed animal. Oh my goodness.
No, he's not a poodle. Yeah, you know.
What is it, Bichon or something? Or
He's a Shih Tzu. He might have like 1% poodle, but a bunch of breeds. But yeah,
He's a festival poodle.
a mutt.
yeah,
we
mutt,
go?
pretty much. Four breeds. I don't let the lady touch it too much, but let's not and make it into a poodle. But when it's
What did you just talk about? No, it's all good. It's an all ages show, but you know what you're going to get in an all ages show. You never know what you might walk out of.
No, that's a cute little
here
dog.
she comes. I'm in trouble.
I'm gonna tell you right now, that little dog for us anyway, like for our little dog, we're like our little dog hopefully lives to be like 20. Like little dogs seem to last a little longer. I had a tough goodbye with my golden retriever, so when we decided to get another dog, it was like we're gonna buy a little teeny mutt, and hopefully he lives to be like 20. So I hope that your pup has a long, illustrious life.
Yeah, I talked to you at Sugar Creek a year and a half ago or something. You said you like dogs and stuff, and you said you like a dog and almost. I do have an album for you somewhere in my bins of collection for the next time I see you with a dog on it.
Awesome.
With the
Sweet.
dog he was adopting.
Is Laura telling you a story in the background or something? What's going on there, Phil?
You can hear that? Yeah, Ed adopted a dog. Yeah.
Okay, I just said, Laura, if you want to be on the show, Laura, you can be on the show.
No, I don't
I'll zip
think
it.
so. No.
He's censoring the situation. So Ed, the show last week was really good. I love the new song "Handshakes and Hugs." It's beautiful.
Oh,
beautiful
thanks.
song. I saw you put that video out. It's just so fitting where you play everything and you do your whole entourage of your musical abilities into one. That's awesome.
Thanks, John.
Been able to write a little bit during this time. I mean, you're
A
trying
little bit. Yeah, I got a few. Not a ton. And I think that it took a while to write to write anything. I guess it for me, it always like it's something where like I'll experience something and then it'll sort of come out in a song like somewhere down the line. It doesn't usually always happen just like right away, you know. Like I'll sort of like mull it over and it needs to kind of like I don't know stew a little bit and
So
I think
what you're
that-
saying is the songs are inside your head before they get into our heads?
Definitely, yeah. I mean, they're like, yeah, it's all like, for me, like, well, I guess sometimes it happens really quick, but a lot of times I'll be thinking something over for a long time before it turns into something, or before it, turns into a song or something like that. But so yeah, I got a few things. I think Handshakes I wrote in December, so that was a good, 9 months of pandemic in before that came out. So I expect that there'll be more as we kind of roll through.
Maybe there's something to be said about not really wanting to remember this time that well.
Right?
We start writing songs about it, we got to remember it forever, So
Well, what's weird is it's such a strange thing because while it's such a weird time and not a, obviously a difficult time, it's an amazing time. Like listening to this little girl like acquire speech and learn how and watching her walk, and I can hear her up there right now running around. It's like I'm very lucky because during this pandemic, my wife and I have had like the greatest gift of all, So we've been able to
Trust me.
watch this child grow and be around each other all the time. So I mean, like honestly, it's not easy not working. Believe me, and we it's hard. We have some days are harder than others, but ultimately, I think we both come back to hey. I know this sucks clearly, and hopefully it's temporary, and we'll be able to do things where she can take our baby to like a class where there's other moms with other babies and they sit in circles and see each other and play with each other. Like that's not happening yet. But at the same time, like we're all healthy, we're all here, we got this cool spot out here on this piece of land, and I'm writing some songs here and there, so it's cool,
Yeah,
it could be a lot worse.
I think that's so important right now, Ed. Oddly enough, there again, I was saying something to Cody about the break that it's forcing us to take. Break, slow down, and you just had this baby, and your family's growing, and like we love watching you and Kim and your relationship. And like since I've known you, and you guys are just such a wonderful couple of friends to have, and what a beautiful thing to have this little girl, and then be there with her, and being somewhat unfortunate you can't do the things we want to do, but you're put in a situation where you're not going out and you're not. This is a great year for you in a sense. I think it's important. Yeah.
No, I got healthy. I went on a plant-based whole food diet when the baby was born. I haven't been boozed up in a long time. I'm having a beer right now, but honestly, it's pretty rare when I do. So I feel like pretty clear-headed and healthy and just like strong and I'm coming out of this. It'll be interesting because I feel really, really good. And I know that when I play music and when I work and when I travel, a lot of times I beat myself up, like I historically have been the good time haver. So I need to learn sort of how to curtail that a little bit. I want to feel good around my child and be present and so yeah.
I might deposit for tomorrow.
Oh, sorry, I just saw a big stack of bandit cash. That's all. Got my attention for a second. Yeah, it got me. Anyway, you got your guitar around, Ed? Would you want to play something for everybody? I mean, everybody's happy to see you here, and again,
Kill it, Ed.
Coming.
You guys, what do you want to hear?
Amy?
You want to hear handshakes and hugs, John?
Yeah, I'd like to hear that. Here as a new song, a fairly new song from my good friend Edward David Anderson. I'll put his link in the page on there, folks.
Handshakes and hugs, what I'm thinking of. Days when we didn't have to give a damn. How I miss my friends, but someday we'll meet again. There'll be handshakes and hugs going round. Handshakes and hugs, what I'm dreaming of. Sweaty room with music in the air. Or the band plays fast and loud. It feels good to be in a crowd with all those handshakes and hugs going round. Handshakes and hugs are two things that I love. It's been so hard to be holed up here at home. We're not supposed to be alone. Singing to the phone, I miss those handshakes and hugs going round. All right. Handshakes and hugs, two things that I love. It's been so hard to be holed up here at home. We're not supposed to be alone. We're singing to the phone. I miss those handshakes and hugs going round. Handshakes and hugs, what I'm thinking of. Days when we didn't have to give a damn. Oh, how I miss my friends, but someday we'll hang again. And there'll be handshakes and hugs going round. Handshakes and hugs all around. Handshakes and hugs all around.
See, and there again,
Big hug, Ed.
If you
Big
get,
hug.
Gentlemen.
I don't care if you wrote one song all year. That's a good
Cheers, Ed.
one, guys. That's a good one.
Big hug.
It's wonderful, man. Wonderful. People feeding up the feed. They're really excited
Wow.
about it. They appreciate that.
Cool, man. Right on. That's a good one, man. When I wrote it, I think that was the first song that I wrote in the new house. So like, or first song with words anyway. So I may have started to get a little bit weirded out of my head. Like I lived here for like 6 months or something and I hadn't written a song yet. And I was like, what's going on? You know, like, so it was just like one of those things where, something that I guess I'd been thinking about for a bunch of months and living through. And then just one morning when I was having coffee before baby woke up, I had the monitor, a cup of coffee, and I had the guitar, and she was still sleeping. So I just stood in the kitchen, and pretty much the whole just came out. And then I went and the next day I did the thing that you were talking about, which I'd play all the instruments and out on the sun porch and put it together and stuff. And so yeah, it's a good tune, man. Music is therapy. Music is medicine, and I know it is for me, like personally, like listening to it, I need it, but also like getting stuff out, you know, getting it out. That's what's been hard about now playing shows is not getting that emotion. There's no release for it, you know, like you get very used to having that. It's I guess it's a luxury. I didn't realize You know, I kind of took it for granted. So
Something we never thought they would take away.
no, I never thought there would be no gigs. Really didn't think.
Yeah.
I didn't see that one coming.
I always say, you know, you can imagine the craziest future you could ever imagine, but it's gonna surprise you still.
Yeah. I mean, I remember even when I first started doing like music for a living, you know, I don't know, maybe I had a conversation with my dad, or maybe I feel like I did with somebody about like the utility of music, you know, and how it's not going anywhere, and how it's universal, and how like people will always want to be entertained. Whereas, you know, I've went to college, I've got a couple of degrees, and you know, I thought about going on and trying to get a PhD and teach more in college and do this or that. And I thought about doing a lot of different things. And then ultimately, like, music just sort of just grabbed me, got a hold of me, and writing and stuff. And so I just followed that. And I remember sort of, I don't know, trying to like sell it to, maybe it was my mom or my dad, I don't remember, but like, hey, gigs are not going anywhere. People are always going to need entertainment. You know, I remember saying that. and then there's a time where there are no gigs. Yeah.
And you write songs that are important to people. And if you can now show any college professor how many people have had a better day because you wrote a song called Good to Be, or you wrote a song called Piss and Moan, or whatever. Now listen, if those songs make people feel good, and that song, especially Good to Be, it reminds people that's a simple idea.
Yeah.
You made so much progress just by writing that song and by get it out in the world. I can't tell you how many times, Ed, that song or multiple songs of yours have come into my head or in the playlist, and it's pulled me through the day, or pulled me through what happened next, man. And
that's good, man. I love it. I love doing it. I'm glad to know that it does, you know, bring good vibes and positivity, and, you know, like empathy into people's lives and stuff, you know, where people can see that other people are feeling the same way and stuff. And like, I absolutely feel lucky to be able to do it. You know, I think that I would have loved teaching too, and could have had very good effect on people in that way as well.
Do you still teach guitar a little bit, or songwriting?
No, I haven't really taught it. I haven't taught anything. I mean, I feel like I'm teaching my child like every day, like from the second I wake up until I go to sleep. So like, I shouldn't say that I'm not teaching, but I haven't like taught like a class of any sort in a long time. I really didn't teach a whole lot of music. I did the rock school for a couple of years, you know, which was a great experience. I loved it. Ultimately, I felt called to be back out and playing live. And ultimately, when all that was going on, you know, we were in the process of losing my wife's mother, and then my own mom. So me being home for that period of time and working in that school and not being on the road was imperative and huge, and I needed to do it. And I really, it was a way for me to enjoy being musical, but not being away from family that I clearly needed to be around. But once we got over, or I guess through, you don't get over anything. Once we got through that and sort of got our heads back together, that's when I sort of wanted to start getting back out. That's when Kim quit her job, and we started going out on the road ourselves together and all that kind of thing and stuff. And then I haven't really thought about teaching, honestly, music since that experience. Not that I didn't enjoy it. I don't know. Yeah,
Somebody told me once that you were helping with songwriting. I don't remember who it was, but then it made sense to me because your songwriting style and how you approach it. There's some kind of formula there, but it's just I love what you do. I love what you write. It's my favorite Ed Anderson story is the big eclipse that we had a couple of years ago. I told you this, Ed, but we were Amy and I drove down towards Southern Illinois, but we didn't go to Southern Illinois. We drove as far south as we could get before the eclipse happened that day.
Oh yeah.
And we got out of the car and we put on the Pink Floyd Dark Side of the Moon on my little phone or something. And we listened to it. We timed it up so it would end at the eclipse, you know.
Yeah.
But we got back in the car after the eclipse, and it was amazing. We're like, this is crazy. And we turn the stereo on, we turn the car on, and it comes on. It says, "The darkness turns to light." And it's the lyrics from Lost and Found.
Yeah.
And it's saying the darkness turns to light. And it just, wow. I mean, she caught it. Amy caught it. I wouldn't have caught it. But she was like, "Did you hear what he just said?" And I was like, "Oh, wow. You know, it's so cool."
That's crazy.
You know, just the synchronicity of things in life.
How
Ed Anderson, you know, makes a difference in the world. It's important.
You were talking about the songwriting class and stuff. And I did teach that class, and it was fun. And I was, when you mentioned that, I remembered that Kim and I did have this conversation out here, how maybe at some point down the line, because we live on 5 acres, and we're trying to get the one next, so we're hopefully gonna have 6. And we're thinking, I started thinking it might be kind of cool to do like a seminar, like a getaway, like retreat kind of thing, where people could camp, you know, and stay for the weekend, and maybe it could be like an immersive songwriting experience kind of thing, you know, where
Sounds amazing.
yeah, where it could only be a handful of spots kind of thing, just so it could be, you know, more personal, and then maybe try to record some stuff, you know, if whatever you come up with could be
Have
recorded.
some kind of a goal throughout the weekend where everybody writes a song, or
I had that idea. I forgot about that. And then when you mentioned that, I just sort of remember that. So maybe somewhere down the line there will be some more of that kind of thing going on.
That's
Because I'm actually thinking about, like, how do I stay home and do music and still like kind of do my job, you know? And I'm thinking
mini festivals, little teeny tiny festivals,
little ones. Yeah, we're talking about doing like little, because we got a great spot. I mean, it's incredible. So
All you have to have the land. I mean, you know, if you have 5 acres, that's, you know, that you can social distance in that.
You've not played at my house down here in Decatur yet, have you?
no, I haven't. I want to though.
Oh, summer solstice is going to be a blah, John. Oh boy.
When we get to it, you're definitely high up on the list for that, Ed. We'll work that out.
Tickets are going to be $1,000 a piece.
It's free. It's a barbecue.
Ed's playing too, maybe 2,000, buddy.
It's a barbecue.
I want to do it.
It's an
do it. Hey, John. Ed's in.
Hey,
what's
Ed?
I invited him a couple times, but he's got a gig, and I don't know.
He's live.
I never push anybody past.
You know, there's no more signatures or checks. What you say on camera is like a
what signature. What is the date of it?
This year, I think it's you know, ideally if it happens, it's around the 18th or 19th of June. Is that
June?
Okay. The solstice, like whatever's closest weekend to the solstice, is when we do it. I haven't even looked, really, to be honest. It's crazy. You know, I'm not looking forward to anything yet until it starts happening.
I mean, if that is the date, John, I right now, as of right now, I only have the gig on that Sunday, that weekend.
Probably like the 18th or 19th. We usually have a little bit of music.
So keep me posted.
I will. I will.
When you nail it down.
Cody's played there. We camp there. We have a little vending section.
Did you have Althea Grace down there too, or something?
What's that?
Did you ever have Althea Grace play your place too?
I don't think we didn't get to have Althea yet. We asked.
Pete Jives played there.
I know you had some people out there and stuff.
Speaking of Althea Grace, and I don't usually endorse this kind of stuff, but Sunday night, watch American Idol.
Althea Grace is on American Idol. What is she on?
Yeah,
Sunday
she
night,
is. Yeah.
Because singing their heart out, and they're talking about Lennon and stuff, and
this Sunday
doing a little expose on our good friend Althea Grace, who I just mentioned. I was trying to express to somebody who she was, and I was like, yeah, like when she was 9, she blew me away with Purple Haze and Bad Reputation by Joan Jett. Like when she was 9 years old, she went up on the stage and just play those songs.
She's incredible. I love her dearly.
And not fake it, like play the solo of the songs. I mean, she's doing it, you know. Yeah, and so
we love her to pieces. She's just a sweet, inspiring, incredible, awesome person. You know,
she came on our show a few weeks ago. She just talked. She didn't have an opportunity to play music or anything, but she talked. It was good to see her. It was awesome to see her. You know, they're again one of those people that when we see them, it's awesome. You know, we're lucky to have a lot of friends like that. Really, I mean.
Yeah, it's pretty funny all the friends we have on, John, isn't it?
Yeah.
Dad and Tia. I mean, it's a small world.
That's good stuff. So, what do you guys think? What are your guys' thoughts about like the summer? Are we cautiously optimistic? What do you guys think?
That's about exactly what you said, Ed. Cautiously optimistic.
Right now, my policy is I'm going to be comfortable when we can be outside. I'm not accepting anything indoors right now at all.
Yeah, I'm not either.
Short of like visiting with a couple friends, I'm not going to go to any parties or shows or anything indoors.
If I have 5 acres, I'm having 200 people.
Outdoor stuff. Me and Phil did a couple things last summer that were outdoors, and even though there were people there, it felt better to be outside than inside.
Hey, John, don't. We're going to Sugar Creek in April, and there's going to be 500 people there.
Let's just not talk about that on the show right now, because we don't see what happens. It's all about what happens. Okay, but you know, I feel okay when we get to be outside again. I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to feel comfortable in the mosh pit situation again. You know,
I know,
and that's really sad. You know, my
okay, edit that. We're not going to be there.
My favorite places are, you know, the Castle and Kenny's West Side, and those places where we get in together and we get up close. You know,
I know.
We feed off that. So. You know, in time, it'll come back. I think it's not going to pass, but we'll learn as we go.
Yeah.
And we'll adapt to it, you know. And like the party we had down here, we did have it this year. We had 50 people. It was when you could have 50 people in an outdoor gathering, and it felt strange, but okay. You know,
Yeah.
there has to be a level of caution, of course, in every situation, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I sure can't wait to hang out with people and have that good time. You know, hear that PA kick on and feedback.
I'm moving to New Zealand.
Well, all right, Phil. We can still Zoom through New Zealand. It's an international show. We were from Our first guest tonight was from Canada. This guy Mike Lynch that we met online.
Oh yeah.
Well, I'm going to go to Australia because one of my favorite bands, Crowded House, is coming back together after a long time without playing.
So you're going to go follow the Finn brothers through Australia, are you?
The Finn brothers, yeah, Crowded House.
Crowded House.
Well, there's no virus down there. So.
Tell me those songs aren't still in your head. You know, the Crowded House songs. Those are good.
Oh, I can name 5 or 6 if I'm terrible at.
What was the name of the album?
Something so strong could have carried us.
Sure, but
I don't know the name of the song.
I want to say Tales from the Big Chair, but that's Tears for Fears.
No, it's not. I know
it. To a page in my historical music book in here, and Crowded House was right there. But yeah, I wanted my haircut like that when I was a kid.
Seeing a cool movie that involved Crowded House and Neil Finn. It was like, do you guys know what I'm talking about? It was like Wilco involved in it or something. It was like a
Jeff Tweedy.
Yeah,
I remember seeing a cool movie. And then shortly thereafter, I think Crowded House played in Chicago, or Neil Finn did.
Neil Finn did at Doubledore.
Right outside on the street, right?
No, I was inside. It was not Crowded House, and he did not play one Crowded House song. It was Neil Finn. Well, I mean, that was back in the day with at the Doubledore.
Yeah.
This was late.
I can see the cassette tape case I had. It had
right around when you guys were hot as hell.
Cassette tape case. It had Crowded House. It had.
It was Xander and Pumpkins and
historical brain. Anyway,
Alkaline Trio.
We're talking about stuff. We got Edward David Anderson on our show.
Well, that's all. That's when. It was a beautiful thing.
Everybody's saying a lot of good stuff in the feed over there. I'll read it later. But thank you guys for chiming in and being part of what we're doing. Jeff Singley and Easton Bishop are in a competition to see who can get the most comments tonight, but there's no prize. Either way, we are stoked to hear you, Ed. And if you'd like to, you can put the guitar away.
I'm going to turn on the light here, and as the sun goes down,
if you'd like to take a moment to play another musical interlude for us or something nice, I'd leave that up to you. If it's up to you.
Sure, yeah.
We appreciate you in a hundred ways.
I think I'm gonna play this tune. Let's see. I want to play something off the John Prine's Missing Years. I've been into that. Do you know that record very well at all?
I listened to it recently this last couple of years. Yeah.
Yeah. It's produced by Howie Epstein. He used to play bass for the Heartbreakers. You know, so Tom Petty sings on the record, and Mike Campbell and Ben Montench are all over the record. And I don't know how. I mean, I knew some of those songs, but for somehow it slipped through the cracks. Like, I don't know that I realized that the Heartbreakers were so intimately involved.
Yeah.
With the John Prine record, and the record won a Grammy for best contemporary folk record. It's the only Grammy John Prine ever won. So I got my wife bought it for me for Christmas, and we've just listened to it a ton, and my daughters listened to it a ton. We started a lot of mornings listening, and a lot of times this is the song that I guess I don't really need a pick for this one. A lot of times we'll start off the morning with this song. Young man from a small town with a very large imagination, lay alone in his room with the radio on, looking for another station. Static from the mouthpiece gave way to the song below. James Dean went out to Hollywood, put his picture in a picture show. And it's, oh, Daddy, get off of your knees. Mama, why'd you have to go? Your darling Jim is out on a limb. I put my picture in a picture show. A picture in a picture show. Hamburgers, cheeseburgers, over an Orville ride. John Garfield in the afternoon, Montgomery Clift at night. And the static hit the mouthpiece, gave way to the sound below. James Dean went out to Hollywood, put his picture in a picture show. And so, Daddy, get off your knees. Mama, why'd you have to go? Your darling Jim was out on land, put my picture in a picture show. Whoa, whoa, picture in a picture show. Yeah. A mocha man in a wigwam, sitting on a reservation, with a big black hole in the belly of his soul, waiting on an explanation. While the white man sits on his fat can, takes pictures of the Navajo. Every time he clicks his Kodak pics, steals a little bit of soul. Every time he clicks his Kodak pics, you know he steals a little bit of soul. And it's, oh, Daddy, get off of your knees. Mama, why'd you have to go? Your darling Jim is out on a limb. I put my picture in a picture show. Whoa, whoa. Picture in a picture show. Picture in a picture show. Let's go. Young man from a small town with a very large imagination.
Yeah,
Something like that.
That's a song there, man. That's another one of those John Prine songs that just
Isn't that great? God, what a
so
tune.
good, so good.
That last verse where he says, a mocha man in a wigwam sitting on a reservation with a big black hole in the belly of his soul waiting on an explanation.
The white man, every time he clicks his pics, he takes a little bit of that soul.
Yeah, while the white man
heaven,
sits on his fat can, takes pictures of the Navajo. Oh, it's such a good song, man.
I wonder if that brought awareness to that thought of the idea of taking pictures in their soul and how that was. I grew up kind of knowing that, like I was taught that, I guess. You know, you don't take pictures of the Native Americans.
Yeah.
But that song might have had a little bit of an edge of getting the music out there. And I wish I would have. I wish I had a John Prine album when I was a kid, and I didn't.
Right?
I didn't.
I didn't.
Cody had a big spoon in his hand. He said, "Here's a great song. Check it out." And he played Spanish Pipe Dream, honestly, and that was like, "Well, what's this?" And I dug in so deeply in the last decade or so.
Yeah, me too.
John Prine stuff.
Me too. Yeah. And it's weird because I wish that, you know, what I remember, I think the first John Prine song that I ever heard was Paradise. And it was played by my friend's dad in a bluegrass.
Sure.
In bluegrass scene. It wasn't like the way John Prine did it. It was done more traditional bluegrass. And I always thought that was a traditional bluegrass song from like the 30s or 40s or something that they were playing. I didn't. And then later in life, I came to realize, you know, as I started writing songs, got a little bit older. But as a little kid, when I heard that song for the first time, I thought it was just a traditional bluegrass song. But that was the first Prine song that I heard. And then I think Angel from Montgomery, you know, and then
I heard Angel from Montgomery.
Things that you would hear, but you don't. I don't think I realized.
I think when I first heard that song, Paradise, I already knew it.
Yeah.
When I first listened to the John Prine version of it, like you said, you heard somebody else do it. Like it was already in there somewhere.
Yeah.
Like the Muhlenberg Dam, that was in there. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
I was in Kentucky driving one time to a festival, and I saw a sign that said Merle Travis Way, and then I saw another sign that said another country singer way.
I think John.
And then I saw a sign that said John Prine Way. So I'm like, where the hell am I?
Yeah.
I'm in the middle of nowhere. I'm in the sticks, you know. So I stopped the car. And I'm like, all these road signs are these country musicians.
Yeah, yeah.
And I kind of slowed down. I kept going. I saw a sign that said Muhlenberg Dam, 3 miles.
Yeah.
On the left. So of course I drove up there and checked it out. Hung out by the river and like, it didn't smell like snakes, but it smelled like something, you know.
Yeah, it smelled like snakes when we shoot with our pistols. Empty pop bottles is all we would kill.
Naked as the eyes of a clown, says John
I think
Prine.
that I don't know, I may be wrong on this, but I believe that his ashes did get spread and that
I believe that.
You know, on the end of that song, when I let my ashes flow up the Green River, my soul rolling up to the Rochester Dam. I'm pretty sure that
As you're standing at the Rochester Dam, it's like this broken down rocky creek,
okay,
and you can see this beautiful trees and hills, and then there's a big factory sticking up out of the middle of it.
yeah,
It's got to be Peabody Coal. The
oh
whole
yeah,
idea that like you just this scene is so.
I like behind the ad, it just says EDA right here on this guitar case. EDA.
does it?
You see
Right
that?
behind you,
Behind you. Okay. You got good eyes, Phil. Man.
Yeah, damn.
EDA.
I keep it in the, I keep my guitar in the case because I got this humidifier thing in there, so it keeps the wood from getting too dried out. Because when you got the heat and kicking on so much with the furnace, it's so dry in this house. I was like, I gotta take care of these babies and make sure that they're not getting too dried out.
Yeah, I don't mind just sitting over here getting dust on it, but it's still there. I got it. Still it's close. I can reach it.
That record,
So,
Missing Years, has been one that I've been listening to a lot. And then I don't know, are you familiar with the record Common Sense? Jon Prine, it came out in 1975, and it's produced by Steve Cropper from like Booker T.
yeah. Blues Brothers and Booker T.
Yeah, exactly. So there's like a lot of horns, and Donald Duck Dunn plays some bass on there, and like it's got a real Memphis kind of thing going on. That's called Common Sense. It's, the song Common Sense on there is, it don't make no sense, the common sense don't make no sense, or it don't make much sense, the common sense don't make no sense no more. That's the song that is the one that jumps out when I hear it. It's very, John, actually I think you would dig it because it actually has a kind of a Bob Dylan mid 70s full on band hurricane kind of feel.
It sounds interesting, yeah.
I think you would really like the record. It was probably his most under celebrated release, and probably it was his last on Atlantic record.
Just you feeding that information about the Missing Years, I got to go back and listen to that again. After this, I already queued it up on the player for
Phenomenal.
and so I can listen to that again because I want to hear those influences in there too.
The record's great, so good. There's another song on there called the "You Got Gold" I've been playing.
Yeah, I heard you play that.
Another beautiful song. Our record's stacked. There's like 14 songs on it or something.
He didn't stop writing songs. He just kept writing good stuff, and you can go through his collection. Like you said, that album, that Common Sense album, I'm going to grab that, and there's going to be a half a dozen songs I still haven't heard that I want to listen to. And kind of like a Tom Petty or somebody. Honestly, like a Tom Petty or something, you just can't find a song you don't like in the collection. It just keeps feeding you good music.
I think that if you hear Common Sense, I'd be surprised if you've heard any of those songs, because I wasn't familiar with really any of them.
Right, yeah, I wonder, yeah.
And in fact, the last tune on the record he does,
No, not right now.
the Chuck Berry song, You Never Can Tell? C'est la vie, say the old folks.
Sure, yeah.
He does this smoking rock and roll version where he's the singer, and there's horns, and it's Memphis, and it's just killing. And I'm like, I had no idea. I've never heard Jon Prine sing the song. I didn't know he even recorded this song on an album. And it's how the record closes, is that Chuck Berry song. He's a big Chuck Berry fan, Jon Prine.
Yeah. Well, I missed him already. That Jon Prine, that's the biggest loss of the whole situation, I think. And
it's crazy how you lean on his music to get through the pandemic, and the pandemic took him from us.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird?
And hopefully what we can do is we can keep telling people about his music and reminding people who he was, and either by playing the songs or having in the background, whatever it is, and just remind people who Jon Prine is,
That's it.
I think even now still, it's hard to tell somebody who Jon Prine is. If they're not a fan of that branch of the tree of music.
Yeah.
It's like we for years trying to tell people who John Hartford is, and still trying to tell people who John Hartford is.
It's kind of a similar when you try to explain the brilliance of either of them. Someone has no idea who they are.
And you're trying to say, well, get one of their 27 albums and enjoy it.
It's a similar. You're right. That's a really good analogy. Because I've tried to explain who John Hartford is many times to people. It always comes back to "Gentle on My Mind" because people know that song. Yeah. I can kind of, and with Prine, it's "Angel from Montgomery." If somebody has never heard of either of these people, you kind of try to find common ground with a song that they might know.
Well, and even the "Gentle on My Mind" thing is starting to generationally get lost. The Glenn Campbell, that was just before us. Really that.
Well, there's a band called I don't remember some real like newer country band that has like Nashville-y poppy kind of band that did a recent version of "Gentle on My Mind," and it's really good. It's really super polished and Nashville-y.
Sure.
But it is they are doing "Gentle on My Mind."
Yeah,
so,
right.
And
you
It's
can't.
a great song. So it's
Doesn't even
I
write
forget.
itself. It's like a story he's telling. He's not even like worried about the prose of it. He just tells it. It just happens.
It's an incredible song. I've often referred to it as the perfect song. I mean, it literally is. The imagery and the delivery, it's just one of those perfect songs. Like, it couldn't be any more perfect. Like the phrasing, the cadence, the words, the idea of,
And he just sat down and wrote it, and he just said, "I'm just gonna write a song."
yeah.
And that came
Incredible.
out. It's like that he started those first few words, and then it turns into that whole song. And then Phil's eating pretzels, and I muted him because they were having some kind of a party over there. He'll be back in a second. He'll be back for Phil's question.
I don't know the story behind him writing that. He just wrote it in one sitting or something, or
he sat down and wrote it, and as long as it takes to play it, apparently.
Oh shit.
That's what the story is. And he was.
When he's talking about like waving from the back roads of his mind, it's just crazy.
The rivers, and the memories, and the dust bowl, and the coal pile, and there's so many things in that song. The cupped hands around a tin can.
Yeah.
Tend to hold you to my chest and smile.
Yeah.
Whatever he says right there is like, he's sitting backstage in the Glenn Campbell show. This is a story I hear from his friends and family. He's sitting backstage at the Glenn Campbell show, and Glenn Campbell's just wandering down the hall, and he's fiddling through the song, playing it, and Glenn Campbell says, "That's a pretty cool song. I'd like to record that song, John, and I'll give you half of whatever I make from it." And then he did. It became like the most played song other than Happy Birthday in history.
Yeah.
And he gave John half of that money. He gave John half of the proceeds from that. He never ever discounted John at all. He made sure people know he wrote the song. I mean, you still have to explain that, it's a Glenn Campbell song, but John wrote it. It's, but the idea that he was true to his word.
Yeah, no shit, huh?
And that's got to be like, that's the Glenn Campbell show. So that's the late 60s, whenever, like beginning of the 70s, maybe. And he got to fuel his whole career off of that one little tune.
Wow.
And all those other songs he wrote, and all those albums, and all the stuff that John Hartford did after that wasn't, completely supported by Gentleman Mine, but it didn't hurt.
That's incredible. That he gave him half, because while he would have still gotten, pretty wealthy off of that song, nothing like he would have gotten a cut, but it would have been nothing like half. You know what I'm saying? Like
there again, that's a story I hear. That's what.
Yeah, that's incredible. It wouldn't surprise me.
As opposed to a lot of musicians that write a song, they sell it. One of my good buddies, Ray Lawrence, he wrote a song for Hank Third, but he sold it to him instead of getting royalties from
doesn't get anything,
and it blew up. It flew out the window, and it's him singing it on the album. It's a recording of him singing it, but he sold it to this other cat. So he got Billy Joel or Def Leppard, where he wrote these great songs, but they're not his for some dumb paperwork reason. You know how that goes.
I mean, I think that I don't know a ton about I don't know about a whole lot about anything, but I know a little bit about a lot of things, but not a whole lot about anything. I do know that I would with songwriting, I don't want to ever give it up. It's that sounds painful. Like, I'm sure you got a chunk of change right out of the gate, but I mean, like, you can't just give the whole thing away, the publishing and the song away, because then then there's no future in it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, hopefully you got a good chunk of change for the song, but God, that sucks.
You've had people record your songs before. I mean, I know Cody's recorded them, and a few.
Yeah, and that's just, I mean, that's just a small fee or something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
with Cody,
sure.
With Cody, I was like, dude, I don't fucking want your money. Like, record my song. I'm honored.
Yeah.
But if it was, if it was to come, I did have somebody record one of my songs and it did become some sort of like something or whatever, I still own that song. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So, like, I would get, this is all like fairy tale stuff, but like the one thing that I've always known, I think from the get-go, was like, never give up your tunes. Make sure that like you retain publishing to your own songs. I've been told that from the get-go. Don't fall prey to like a kind of a get rich quick kind of thing and sell things off, because you'll never see a dime. But if you can hang on to the publishing of your songs, and any record deal that I've ever had or anything situation that I've ever entered into, I always retained like ownership of my song.
I hope, that's like the thing that happened when we were growing up in the 70s and 80s. Those musicians, like I said, Billy Joel and Def Leppard and those guys that recorded great stuff, but they signed the wrong piece of paper.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I think hopefully people if they're writing good music, they're a little conscious of that. And I always say, if you're writing good music, like James Taylor kind of said, even if you're going to write songs, you're not writing it for the money, you're writing it for the song.
Exactly.
And if that turns into something that helps people or changes people along the way, then that's positive. And if you're only in it for the money, you won't be around very long. That's how I look at it.
I mean, it's pretty. If you're only in it for the money, the odds of you actually making it are, odds of anybody actually making it in general are so slim to get to that level those people are at or whatever. You have to do this because you love it. You can't do it because you think you're going to get anything out of it. That's for sure. It's nice for me. I've figured out a way how to scratch out a living, for the most part. I'm not getting rich, but I can feed my family and pay my mortgage. And I do it with my art. I was thinking it's like I'm basically making art that's inspired by my family. I'm providing for my family by making art that's inspired by my family, which is like an incredible, it's a very, it's like, it almost feels like ecological or something, it's like a composting or something, it's all going right back in. The conversations and experiences that we have during the day end up turning into songs that I'll play at night, and I'll make the money with those songs by playing those gigs to come back and put food on the table so we can have conversations and experiences so I can write about it and go back out and make the money, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I feel lucky to be able to do that. I'm not getting rich or anything like that, but I can, we do all right, and hopefully, knock on wood, I don't know what the future, up to this point we've done all right, so we'll see what the future is. But it's certainly not about getting rich or any of that shit. It's just about being able to make art and take care of the people you love, really, for me.
Bingo.
And if we can, in our lifetimes, if we can continue, in our cases, as we grow older, we can continue to make art and enjoy what we do.
Yeah.
That's priceless. You can't beat that.
That's all it is, man. That's all there is.
And I made as artists, we make sort of a sacrifice of other things so that we can produce our art. But once it starts to feed us and take care of us, it feels so good. It just is. I don't know. It's good to be, like you say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I want to do my art. And I want to plant my tomato garden to give my tomato to my neighbor when it's ready, and that's part of.
And then for your birthday, that neighbor will bring us like a $60 bottle of vodka for your birthday, like you did. That bottle of vodka she brought us, I don't know.
That was tequila. That was Maria. Actually, Maria. Hey, Maria. Hey, John. You came to my house for the show. Excuse me, Ed. It's her birthday today. Wish her. I say, Maria.
Oh, happy birthday, Maria. Happy birthday.
Hey, Maria. Happy birthday. Yeah.
Is she still watching our show weekly, you think?
Could be, but it's her birthday. But anyway, John came over to my house. Ed, if you're in Aurora at the venue or whatever.
Yeah, no, I'll be up there this summer, hopefully. Yeah. One of the guys that I'm working with on the new Tire Fire recording is from Aurora. In fact, some of the stuff that was recorded and is all the keyboards and all that kind of stuff was all recorded in Aurora. In my friend Adam's studio. Adam Gardner is his name, but he plays a lot of music at the venue. And man, you guys, I can't wait for you to hear this new Tire Fire EP. It is just rocking. It is. It starts. We start mixing it next month. But it is really, really happening. It's really been fun to watch it come together. It's been hard over the course of the year, sort of piecing it together from different geographical locations. But man, when I heard these rough mixes for the first time a couple weeks ago, woof! It sounds like we were all in the same room. It's just epic sounding. It's really, really, really big, and I think it's the coolest shit we ever did. And I can't wait for you guys to hear this stuff.
I'm psyched too.
It's Tire Fire, one of my favorite things.
Yeah. Have you played A Kiss of Sky? And
oh yeah,
that's a nice room with Steve. Yeah, that's a happy little
Steve
room.
Warfeltz.
Yeah, I was just up there getting an EP.
Yeah, he's a buddy of mine. Yep, I've played up there many times. I think since the venue sort of started happening, I don't think I played up there really since the venue opened. I don't think, but I played the venue one time last summer.
Anyway, a couple of minutes away. Anyway, it's a cool place, great venue.
It is. I think that we're going to try to do a Tire Fire show outdoors there. They have that area where they kind of open up the doors and have. We're going to try to do that this summer.
I'll see you there.
Yeah, that'd be great, dude.
That was one of the best shows I saw last year. Was Tire Fire, or the year before last now.
Yeah, right.
The Black Dirt Festival. I've kind of just negated all last year from my brain. I keep saying last year about stuff that was 2019, but
Oh, it's weird, isn't it? I so hope that we get to do it this year. I can tell you right now that my heart was beyond broken when we didn't get to follow it up, because we came out of the gate so strong with the first year. The idea of not getting to do it the second year never even crossed my mind, obviously. So I hope to God, and this year it may be a little bit different, and I won't say much, but I think it could be really, it could be seriously epic if we can get it to work out the way that we're trying to make it happen.
Let's think positive. It's going to be epic.
Yeah,
think positive.
I mean, if we can pull this off, I'm telling you.
I'm going to be there. I'll see you.
It's
We're going to smile. We're going to smile in the sunshine. I see it. I know.
The headliner.
The cat's jumping.
Yeah. The headliner that we're talking about getting, to just everything about it.
Stop talking about it. Don't talk about it anymore. You said you weren't going to talk about it.
It's hard, man. I don't want to get too excited about it because I just don't want to.
Normally our headliners, man. Yeah, you know.
No, yeah, this would be bigger. Yeah, it would be cool. I'm a
Whoa!
lot bigger. So we can keep our fingers crossed. I can tell you that we are trying to put together a seriously epic festival, one day festival at the Castle Theater. We're working on it, and we're gonna really try hard to make it happen. So we'll see.
We'll get there. Let's hear it for the Castle Theater, folks. Everybody out there.
Yeah, dude. I mean,
Theater, 2 thumbs up, man. I tell you, if you can, any way we can support them, any way. I don't even know how we can support them right now. If there's any way that they can. Have they done many shows? They haven't done many shows lately.
No, I mean they've done some streams and stuff, and it's been tough. It's been a hard year for those guys. I think that because this Save Our Stages Act went through, that there may be some aid, for some of these places like the Castle and stuff, federal aid and stuff, which would help. I think just keeping the lights on in that place probably is really expensive. So. Yeah. God bless them, for hanging in. And a lot of places are already just dropping out, are just closing the doors, and that's it.
Let's cross our fingers together that the Castle can hold on.
I know. I think that they can, man. I talk to those guys fairly regularly, and
talk about an amazing place and Rory and those guys. I mean, wow, what a crew! All of it,
Yeah, they've got.
I'm Morgan. How you doing out there?
Yeah, they're very motivated to get it back and to do it again, and I think they will. So they're I think that they're in it for the long haul. So.
I was thinking that maybe it would be like a time freeze, that for a year and a half nothing happened, you have no bills, no nothing, and it just restarted.
Yeah, wouldn't that be nice?
In a time warp. Yeah. In a time warp.
They talked about that no bill shit, but I don't know anybody that got it.
Yeah. That's what's
lucky. I'm lucky.
No. It's like the time machine.
Between people release albums, and you know what I did today? So this has been a funny week because I've been lucky to have work all year. I started painting dogs, I've been selling paintings. I haven't been traveling, and I haven't done a lot of posters. But this week I designed a pack of rolling papers, a grinder, a rolling tray, a blanket, a frisbee, and a hacky sack for one entertainer. Who do you think it was, Phil?
Dude, we're going nuts.
It was Todd Snyder. That's Todd Snyder.
It was Todd Snyder. Have you met Todd Snyder?
Not yet. His new merch line, though, is going to be rolling papers, a tray, a grinder, a frisbee, a hacky sack, and there's one other thing. There's 6 items. I can't remember. But anyway, it's all goofy, fun shit that we love.
Okay.
Hacky sack. I thought that was a real throwback, though. He wants to do.
That's awesome.
So I've been lucky to stay busy. I've had work, and not everybody can say that, and haven't had to go work at the factory or anything yet, so I'm hoping that I can keep that going. And if you're listening out there, folks, and you can support these musicians, they got albums to sell, they got vinyl, these guys got great stuff, there's merch, there's a lot of stuff. At the link down below, edwarddavidanderson.com, please check it out and support these guys if you can. Go ahead, Phil.
It's kind of a really cool thing to say the word merch. Or live, or
it's positive. If somebody is investing in merchandise right now, which I've luckily
even Sunshine, I mean,
then he has faith that it's going to turn around, that we're going to have something to look forward to.
So how did you get John? How did you get the gig to design the Todd Snyder stuff?
Me and Todd have been working together for like 10 years.
Oh, okay.
Chad Staley from Great American Taxi.
Sure. Yep.
He has a small management company.
Yeah, I know.
He worked with Cody,
Cody
for a
and Benny.
while. Yeah, and he did Jeff Austin for a while, Todd Snyder, Danny Barnes.
Yeah.
I got invited in on some little silly project years ago for a poster for Todd, and it turned into like I've done like 3 albums for him, and we just finished a new one. All that merch that goes along with it. Just the weirdest little funny stuff, and we did a comic book together for the Hardworking Americans. Because that's actually how it started. Was Chad was playing with the Hardworking Americans with Neil Casal,
Yeah.
Dave Schools, which is also, stay tuned. Dave Schools coming up on a future show, folks. He said he'd do it anyway.
Oh, shit. Cool.
So we're all buddies because of that. But me and Todd have never met. So after 10 years of working together, like when we played at the Castle, I'd go there, and he didn't feel like talking that night. Or like at Shoe Fest, it was the day after Neil Casal passed, so he couldn't play. And then there was another time where I was at summer camp and I was going to meet him, and he got dehydrated. Long story short, we've never met, so I don't. And it's kind of a running gag on the show about Todd. And eventually, that's the idea. Is the goal? I think that'll be our ultimate show: is get Todd on the show with us. Find out why we've never met.
Oh, that's hilarious.
I did a comic book for him. He wrote it, and I do the pictures, and like it's.
What about? Do you remember that he had at one point in time? This would have probably been at least 10 years ago. I don't know, but he had like these stickers that were like stickers that came with something, and everybody like on a card, and it said like weed smoking, porn watching.
Oh, there's a song.
Something, and like so we had a bunch of them from I don't know. We would go to drive-throughs and like these things, we'd be doing like a late night after a gig and just like stick porn watching on the window of McDonald's.
That's very Todd Snyder, that's very Todd Snyder rules kind of situation, like mode,
Yeah, it was like
that song's really good. That's a good one, yeah. It makes me smile. He's been doing a bunch of live shows on Sundays. He stopped a couple weeks ago, but he's been doing some good live stuff. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, he's a trip, man.
He played through his whole album discography. Like you're talking about doing the album for your show.
Yeah.
He did his whole discography like in a matter of like 3 months. Every week he played another album, and it made you listen to each album. You wouldn't necessarily pull those songs out.
Sure. Yeah.
And even if I worked on the album, I hadn't listened to it. Like hearing him play those songs.
Yeah.
It's just another good songwriter. Another good. But that's the whole turnaround of my work week into the Todd Snyder joke. There you go, Phil. And situation. That was all Cody doing. Cody get me into between Cody and the band Brainchild and Afternoon Moon. Remember those guys?
Yeah, sure.
They brought me into summer camp. They introduced me to Vince Herman and those guys in Taxi at the time, and that kind of involved me into that whole. I can actually work for these people I like and I look up to. They gave me like a door open that said, just reach out to the musicians you love and you'll end up work for them.
Yeah.
And then along the way, it's been a wonderful ride. And I tend to go from musician to musician, helping you do whatever we do, make the art for a poster or whatever it is. And it feels like being part of it, kind of. It really feels like
you are
to what you do and how you do it. And I hope that those posters and those ideas make people want to be part of what you do. And that brings us all together.
They elevate the event to a different level. Because you've put it in, you've carved it in stone, if you will. You know what I'm saying? Like when you do a poster, that's when it's really a show. That's when it's going to be a blowout.
I lived in California for a while. I wasn't doing anything like that, and I moved back here, and a lot of my friends were in bands, but they weren't advertising it. It would be like in the little newspaper ad the bar put out, maybe. And I wanted to use my art to just get this music going where it goes, and I hope that through the years we've known each other for quite a few years now, and had to work together. And hey, Phoebe, Phoebe, hey, Phoebe,
I love,
and Amy.
Oh no, just Phoebe, just Phoebe.
Aww.
She's a happy cat. That's my cat. That's my snuggler. That's Phoebe. Phoebe folks. Yeah.
My kitties.
So I'm lucky to be part of what we do, and I'd be part of the music and what you do, and how lucky we are. Any of this happens, Wow, Ed, thanks, man. It's good to see you, bud.
Yeah, man. I was gonna say I gotta get going here pretty shortly because we're gonna put the baby to sleep. But I told Kim I was gonna try to get out. I would disappear for about an hour. So I think
you go up there and give him a big hug for us and tell
him
we'll do that. And girl too, and you guys.
Thank you, Ed, for coming on.
Always a pleasure. Yeah, always good to see you both, man. I love you guys. I miss you guys. I can't wait till we can see each other in person and at some point enjoy some music together.
I do believe I'll see you in Aurora before you know it.
Yeah,
At the venue.
This summer, guys, we'll see each other. I'm confident, man. Festivals are
So am I. Got to think positive.
Even if I got to come to your yoga retreat thing.
Yeah, yes.
I'd love to do that, actually. That sounds wonderful to me. And Edward David Anderson, folks, here in the zone with the flat bugs and everything.
Thanks, everybody. Have a great
night, Ed.
Good to see you, John Griffin. Good to see you, Phil. We'll see you guys soon.
Good night, Ed.
Love you guys. Bye-bye.
Peace.
Phil, epic. So, what do you think, man?
What?
What do you think? I still have one more guest. He's in the waiting room. Our friend Damon. We've been playing his music for a while now. I'll play just a second of his music. That's my friend Damon J. Scruggs, and he's from Louisiana. And he'd like to come on the show and just say a few words about the weather down there. We're going to invite him in. What do you think?
Go for it.
Hey, we're still working up to the weather, to the sports. It's coming. If you're still,
I don't care about. I forgot about sports.
All right, well, we're gonna let him in the room now. Be
Don't
polite.
sit there. Don't sit there. You get it.
He's a new guest. It's our friend
Every
Damon.
time I move the stuff, she keeps moving it. Okay, go ahead.
All right.
Go on, John.
Hey, Damon. This is my good
Hey,
friend
Damon.
Phil. This is my friend Damon. What's happening, buddy?
I don't see. Hey, hold on.
Let's see if
Where's
can
he
see-
at?
You got
Is he
sound.
lost in a painting?
I'm
Are you
right.
playing a game?
That's
There he
the
is.
problem was I made him wait in the waiting room for a few minutes, so he had a few minutes to get distracted. I don't blame him.
You see me now?
I can see you, Damon. I can
I
see
got
you.
you, man.
You, bud.
What's going on?
What's up, Mr.
My
Hustler?
friend.
What's going on?
Man, just snowed in.
Where you
Louisiana weather
snowed
report.
in at?
This is a Louisiana weather report, folks.
Louisiana, man.
Watch
I'm in
out.
Chicago. I got 7 feet. You got an inch?
That's where I'm from.
Are you from Chicago, Damon?
Yep.
Cool. I thought you were from Texas because you had posted one day about going to Dallas, so I thought you were from somewhere around there. But Louisiana, that makes sense. It's just down the road from Dallas.
I'm trying to move to Texas.
Are you?
How you doing, man?
Yeah.
So, I discovered my friend Damon here. I discovered Damon by accident. There again, it's a social distance fest, a place where people are sharing their music and playing their music. And Damon plays a lot of keyboards and different things. That's what I'm finding out. Drums as well. But I was impressed right away, Damon, with the keyboards and the organs and stuff that you're doing between the church and home and the stuff that you're working on. It's great, very entertaining, man.
I appreciate that.
And he's been willing to let us play his music during the show, and I just wanted to bring him in and give him a chance to say something for himself, meet everybody and stuff, What part of Louisiana?
Hey, I'm in Shreveport, Louisiana, from Chicago. Been here about 7, 8 years. They said no snow, so I moved down here.
This week they're proving you wrong. It's messed up.
Yeah. This is the first snow since I've been here. The whole city shut down.
I wonder how many years it's been since something like that happened down there. It's got to have been a long time.
Yeah, they said about 20 years.
Wow.
That's what they tell. Now we got a little bitty snow, but by the time you turn around, it was gone. It wasn't cold enough for it to stick. But we down to 1 degree.
But you don't have any kind of road service down there. There's no salt trucks or plows or anything like that. So no matter what happens, a tiny little thing just destroys everything.
They told everybody to stay in the house because it wasn't nothing but wrecks all through the week. So I stayed in the house. I went and tell my truck.
Oh man. So how you been doing through all this pandemic stuff, my friend?
I mean, I'm cool, but they having a shutdown. They cut your lights out for about 2 hours a day.
What?
So unfortunately, I ain't, they doing that in Texas because it's too much energy. They not used to all this. So they trying to preserve energy without blowing the system. So, but my lights haven't been cut out yet. And they announced that Monday.
Wow. Yeah, that's not fun. That's not fun for those guys down in Texas. I got family down there in the Dallas area, and they don't know how to deal with this. That's not something.
They didn't heat the generators or the turbines or something.
He's in.
Texas has its own power grid there that they can't even get power from other states because they want to be their own thing,
Well, they said New Orleans blew theirs. That's why they started this. New Orleans blew theirs, and they ain't had no lights. Everybody ain't had no lights. They blew their system. So
Right now, still.
I think they back on now, but this was when it first hit, maybe Monday. Yeah, when the
Yeah,
first.
it was pretty intense, man.
Oh yeah, so I gotta go to Texas Sunday, so I'm still waiting to see if they're gonna tell me to come.
Yeah, the church. You've been able to do a little bit of church stuff, huh?
Yeah, they. I was in Texas last Sunday when it snowed, but they told me they canceled it. They told me go on home.
Oh man. So let me ask you this, Damon: are you play with a band outside of the church activities? Do you have a band that you work with or anything, or just?
Yeah, man, I played with a couple of bands, did a couple of tours. Um, I don't like being away from home half a year. Then so I kind of like just do work between people online and over UK and France, Paris, stuff like that. Really online work. And then
Studio kind of stuff, studio
Yeah.
work kind of stuff. Yeah.
yeah, studio kind of stuff. I got a kids video out. I did some soundtracks for movies.
Nice.
Recorded the people, different stuff. I did. Actually, the guy who I was doing movies with, he wanted me to move to California,
Sure.
but he said we could get more work done, more money if you just move
I
here.
mean,
I've seen where you perform, like with everything that you do, with all the keyboards and everything you work with, and the background tracks and everything. You could do a score. I could see you doing musical scores.
Yeah. I pretty much do score. That's what I grew up listening to. That's how I really got involved in music. I like the way the sings, they walking and different strings coming in. So I grew up on that. I grew up on Broadway jazz, and then I just venture out when I start hearing things. Venture out. So pretty much I just love what I do. Just try to have fun and be cool.
You came across real kind when we started talking during videos, and you always said we could use the music, and you've always been open to that. It's wonderful. We've been trying to play the music off and on. I always try to give you credit. My good friend Easton Bishop, I know you know Bishop from the.
Oh yeah, I know Bishop.
He lives here close to me. We're actually.
he knows Bishop.
You ask Phil what he thinks.
He's laughing. He knows Bishop.
Yeah, I know Bishop. Yeah, I know.
That's a connection, Phil.
What's up, Bishop?
Yeah, I know Bishop.
He's right. He's a good friend of ours, and he's out there watching tonight. He's pretty.
No, he is.
Yeah, he's fun to watch. He's fun to hang out with.
Bishop be everywhere. Bishop be everywhere.
When he got out of that social distancing festival stuff, he started paying attention to everybody and communicating with everybody, and it's good. I mean, like I said, he's a good guy.
He's a cartoon character. He is.
Now he's saying, Easton just said Scruggs does have a Chicago accent. Now listen to him. Yeah, he can tell he's come from the city.
It's a dude named Cody introduced me to Social Distance Fest. I ain't know nothing about him. I was playing somewhere else, and the dude don't let you play online. He block you. And he told me, he said, I know a site you go play on, and they ain't going to block you. It's a stage. You can do all you want.
Yeah.
So I started going on the stage playing, and then next thing I know, they made me a moderator on that stage now.
Nice.
So,
and it's an interesting draw of people from all over the place. It's a big group, and then the people that end up watching this, I just paint on there sometimes, or I'll play music in there. And
I'll tell you today.
Yeah, you get a real reaction from different people you would never meet, just like me and you meet. And I mean, it's what a heck of a tool that people can communicate on. It's wonderful. Keeps us going right now.
Actually, they got me on Sunday at 6:45.
Are you doing the show this weekend? It's like a festival kind of weekend they're doing.
Yeah.
Where's the festival?
It's online, Phil. It's not. So me and Phil, what we normally do, we're artists that travel to music festivals, and we set up our booth at the music festivals and do art while we're there, or sell our art. And normally we would travel all summer together. So last summer, whenever all this crap went down and everything stopped,
we got to get a train or a bus, man.
We decided to do this show because we knew we weren't going to be traveling and doing our normal stuff that we do. We travel from festival to festival and do our artwork. And so that was a nice outlet to be able to go and just show stuff to people and share a little bit. And yeah, Easton's got 17 comments now. He can't be. Easton loves commenting.
Bishop want to talk.
If they knew you in person, Easton, I tell you what, man. If they were there that night at the Kenny's West Side when you got taken away, remember that night, Easton? I'll tell them the story, but I won't tell them tonight.
Hey, is his last name Bishop for real? Or
it is Bishop. Yeah, is that your last name as well? Or no, you are Bishop. Or what's going on there?
Say that again.
it says Bishop
We're getting
DJ on your name on your thing there.
Oh no, I just made that. I just did this so they can know it's gonna be my. I'm the one that's gonna be in charge of it.
Meat.
All right. I appreciate everything you do, Damon. You got your keyboard right in front of you there. You got like a nice studio setup, don't you?
Yeah. You see a keyboard?
Okay.
I don't see it, but I see you're sitting like you're sitting. You could be sitting. You got a microphone. I'm just assuming that you're sitting at the piano or something. You're sitting at the computer, aren't you? It's all right.
Oh yeah, I'm finna.
I got another hour.
You know, we getting ready for Sunday, so I just got everything
I'll take care
set
of
up
it.
now.
Yeah. I'm cooking.
But
Yeah, play a little something if you want to. Give us a few minutes on what you do, Damon.
But did it just cut him out? He tried to say something.
No, he's talking in the background. I let him. Don't worry. We got a contract.
I mean, there some particular you want me to play or just play?
Him? No. He's the guest host.
No, I'm sorry. I have a dog and a cat and a dog and I'm just mumbling. I'm sorry, man.
If I mute Phil, it's not a big deal. If I mute Phil, he knows what's going on. He might freeze.
I know what's going on. Yeah, I mean, obviously I do because it's the Phil in Jon Zone. I know.
Jon Zone.
Yeah,
all right.
Idea.
I'm sorry to interrupt.
Do you have anything in particular you'd like to hear Damon play?
It's your thing.
I
Do what you want to do.
That's what you want?
It's your thing. Do what you want to do.
He's not requesting that tune. He's just saying do whatever you want to do, man.
Okay.
It's his space. Let him do what he wants to do. I have no clue what he wants to do. Go for it.
Damon J. Scruggs, folks. Give him a follow if you got a chance.
You better, what I got, 1 minute? A minute and a half?
Hey, take a few minutes, but do what you feel for a few minutes, okay?
Well, you're down to 54 seconds.
No, we got no rules. There's no, the FCC hasn't chimed in yet or anything. And thank you, Damon, for being a part of the show, bud. Seriously. Yeah, man. That's groovy. That's groovy, man. I love it. You just kind of you noodle it all over the place. I love it. I keep hearing bits and pieces of songs come out of it. And,
I ain't know what I was gonna play, so I was just playing.
that's all right. It sounds great, man.
I really didn't know what to play, and
We're in Illinois. We had guests on tonight from Canada. I got a buddy watching over here, getting excited from Fresno, California, checking you out tonight, Damon. We appreciate you being part of the show. And the weather report from Louisiana sounds horrible. Down there, it sounds cold. It sucks for everybody down the south. It's cold today, man.
Actually, it warmed up today because I went outside today. I let everybody tap their cars and then make tracks in the ground, so our wheels touching grounds. It's still snow out there, but it's still, man. I got a 2020, so I wasn't taking no chance. I was staying.
Yeah, and you know, like from Chicago, you know what snow's like, what real snow's like, what real winter.
I know they can't drive down here.
No.
So if anybody from Louisiana, forgive me for telling the truth.
But if it rains, Damon, if it rains in some of those places, and then people don't know how to drive.
Crash, they'll hit an accident and then crash. They don't know if they say ice storm coming or the ice storm here. It's a speed limit 65. Instead of them going 45, they still 60. So they see ice.
Oh yeah, I believe it.
So I couldn't afford to have my car towed up. Not especially when my deductible was $1,000.
So when are you going to be on the Social Distant Festival? I want to tell people the Socially Distant Fest is the name of the page that we play on, and Damon's going to play tomorrow or
Sunday evening. It's going to be me, a bass player, drummer. I got a singer coming, so we're gonna have a whole band here.
Is it that jazz singer you had singing with you last week or something? Really good.
Oh yeah,
that was really good. Yeah,
we're gonna just do a lot of I know one song we're gonna do Imagine by her. We're gonna do that, and a lot of stuff we're gonna just freelance it. Only got like 45 minutes, so that's not.
Oh, it'll be fun. You'll have a blast. That'll be a good time. I hope people can tune in and check it out. And
I told them I'm finna come on your show. They were like, "Oh no, you should have told us earlier. We would have came." I said he caught me by surprise.
This is just introduction. This is just getting to know each other, bud, and making friends. And I appreciate your music and how you do it. And I really appreciate you letting us include that in what we do and how we do it. We're not expecting to get a huge audience, but we have a good time. You know?
Oh yeah. Like you ain't gotta, if you hear something I did, you ain't gotta keep asking me. Just go ahead.
Hey, I'm just making sure. That's all I can do.
Yeah. I ain't gonna sue you.
Double check. I know. I ain't worried about that. I'm just double checking, make sure. Cause I did get the groove. Yeah. I use like bits and pieces of this random stuff. One of them we were using was just you guys rehearsing a song, but the chunks of it where you're rehearsing were so cool. It made for great. It's good score. Like I said, it's like a musical score. It fills that void we need with the dead areas. But I appreciate it, and then people out there people are going to follow your music, I hope, and check you out, man. And it's nice to meet you, bud.
Oh yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm a follower now. I'll be checking you out throughout your feeds and stuff like that. And if anybody has any questions, let Damon know. Check him out, follow him on Facebook and whatnot. And
is Bishop still on here?
Bishop? Oh yeah, he's still here. He's still signing up. He's talking about Sunday. Lineup is awesome. You play best when you wing it. He says. He says all kinds of shit. He's types and types.
What Bishop play?
Bishop, I don't think he plays any music. He goes to a lot of music with us. We do a lot of, like I said, me and Phil being the artists at these festivals, we get to do a lot of music and be around tons of weekend type events full of music. And Bishop is always there with us. Okay. He's a fan of music. Really, he plays a little guitar. He's learning. He's just picked it up. I want to say during the quarantine, as far as what I can tell. But he's just a music lover. Anybody who plays music needs people who appreciate the music, or else we can.
Oh, there you go. He came back finally.
Yeah.
He had to go do number 2.
He's back. It's okay. It's Phil.
I'm always here. I have yeah.
We're best friends. We're just a couple dudes that make art.
Actually, I listened to it because it's upstairs. I'm actually not leaving you, but I'm leaving you visually right there. But it's upstairs. I have a dog, and yeah. Anyway.
Oh no, he caught me off guard today, so I'm just rambling playing.
That's okay. That's why we did it. I like to catch people off guard.
I've been rambling for 41 weeks, and I don't know what the hell I'm doing. John just put me in this little zone thing, filled zone thing.
Well, I said this, Phil. The season was going to start soon, but it didn't get to start because they shut us down. So I said, I'm going to miss you. So let's.
Perfect time. Hey, John. Perfect timing. Perfect timing, what the...
It was more like 47 weeks ago that it started, but They're so before we started
I
doing the
do
show.
got one question to ask though.
Yeah, sure.
I got one question. How come when y'all talk, y'all picture get big, but when I talk, it stays small?
I don't know. That's Zoom settings, man. Mine on the screen that I'm sharing, it's all three of our pictures are equal. And like if you play music, I put just you on there for a little bit, and I can kind of produce that a little bit. It's Zoom. Zoom's funny. Like I don't quite understand it yet because I'm learning it. I want to make like 2 pictures small, 1 picture big, and like have it change size anyway. But I don't know. The honest answer is I have no clue.
And tell me one more thing.
Yeah.
What's that Spanish word on the left of you?
Of me?
Yeah, it's a Spanish word. Boyne. How you pronounce it?
Is it in that painting?
That's your co-host's name. Look like it.
Oh, Boyne. That's his girlfriend's
Boyne.
last name.
I
Boyne's his
thought it
last
was
name.
Boyne. I thought it was Boyne.
No, his name's Phil, man. Hold on. I'll change his
Oh,
name.
you didn't switch it. Oh, no. I'm just.
Phil Zone.
Sorry. Boyney, that's a good one.
Hey,
Yeah,
Phil,
that-
real quick. Hey, Phil, show
There you
Damon
go.
what you make. Show Damon what you make. He's seen my paintings, but show him what you make. You got
What
show
do
him
I
those
do?
albums you got right there.
Well,
Phil paints on old records. Like he gets old scratch records and paints bands' names on them.
See old vinyl records, this old stuff. Yeah, old crap.
Wow, how old is that?
And I
Oh,
turn it into, I paint on stuff. Yeah,
So-
that's pretty.
If we go to a festival, Phil will do an album or 2 for every band that's playing that weekend.
Hey, how can you make me a design for that, but like in a picture form?
You
I
paint
could
the
put-
record.
I can put it on the record. I can paint anything.
I'm
But-
talking
Put it on a record.
like
I can
put
help
it-
you, or you
I'm
can use
talking
it
like
online.
put it on the so I can
On
use it for my
vinyl?
backdrop. I want to use it for my backdrop. Yeah.
Okay. I would, instead of one, you'd probably want 2, so you could do Bam Bam on one on each side. Yeah.
Put my name.
Phil does good work, man.
I can hook up. We could hook up on, on Facebook.
Okay.
If he knew, Damon, if he knew you were going to be on the show tonight, he probably would have painted one for you tonight, honestly.
I would have.
That's how Phil works.
Give
Yeah,
me,
that's right.
give me a 3-piece synopsis of what you want, and I can do it.
Like color, his name's Damon J. Scruggs. I'll get you his name.
No.
He plays keys.
If this is how I usually do it, we're still live. What's your favorite color? What's your favorite animal? What's your favorite band? And I get a synopsis of who you are, and then I do my artwork, and that's how it goes.
My favorite animal is a pit bull.
All right, but that's how we'll do it. We'll hook it up.
It might end up being Snoopy.
No, it's not. John was slapping.
I'm looking for a pit bull now to be my
He
friend.
loves painting Snoopy, Damon.
All right.
I'm just going to say.
All right. Well, I'll set you up. 100%.
Okay.
Mm.
Yeah, you need some color on your walls behind you next time you come on, man, because it's kind of boring there with the brown.
Oh yeah, I need some color, but I'm gonna zoom all the way in where you ain't gonna see that back there. You just gonna see the drummer. I got 2 cameras.
I've seen Damon use at least 3 views, plus a keyboard
Yeah.
diagram that shows the keyboard. He's
It's on here, but I don't know why you don't see it.
This is the keyboard part?
Yeah, the keyboard on here now.
Oh, we can't see it right now, but normally when I see you live, you've got like 2 views of you playing, plus the notes you're playing, the keys.
Yeah,
It's
they
great.
be want to see what I plan, so I just grab that keyboard so they can see.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool.
Yeah, but I sure appreciate it. It was fun.
All right.
I hope the people enjoyed me.
Yeah, I think they did. Hey, Damon, thank you for being part of the show, bud. Damon J. Scruggs. I'll talk to you soon, bud. And
Okay.
thanks for being part of the zone. And Jam sounds good. Everybody loves it. And keep you. as
Where's
part
Deshaun Watson going? He's getting traded. Bye. See ya.
Thank you, Damon. Talk to you real soon, bud.
Hey, he been looking at TV.
Yeah, he
All
is.
right, yeah. All right, Doc.
See you, my friend.
All right.
Peace,
Talk to
man.
you soon, bud. Damon J. Scruggs, folks. Yeah, that's a pretty important situation. Good to see him on as part of the show. Phil, I thought of a good alphabet game, and now there's just the 2 of us. I would like you to do
Just the 2 of us.
just the 2 of us.
That's a song. What's going on, John?
We can make
What's
it
the
a
deal?
tie. What's going
No,
on?
that's not.
is-
No, don't do that.
I think it's a challenge moment for you. We're gonna do two challenges. First of all, because you
A challenge moment for me. That's the first words that came out of your mouth. What was
it
that? What was my challenge?
all the planning tonight was about a special segment of the show that we didn't do. We didn't do your segment of the show. Are you ready now to do your segment of the show?
Oh, you want me? Okay. There.
Folks, this time of the day, we're finally get to a minute of sports with Phil. We really appreciate Phil. We love Phil. And we want to give him a little bit of time to talk about what he really loves of sports, and he's not ready yet, so we're going to go ahead and play that again. Hey, folks. That was Damon J. Scruggs, and we're going to give up the camera here to Philip Scruggs. He's going to play a song about sports for us. And I'm going to pee. All right, Phil, you're up. Are you not ready yet? Should you be ready right now? Okay, yeah.
Hello. I'm Bill Murray. Sports segment on the Phil and Jon Zone. Bill Murray. Hey, you know what? We're all blue, or we live in the Midwest. I live in the Midwest, anyway. Spring training's around the corner. It's a beautiful thing if you're into baseball and stuff like that. March Madness, too, in the college basketball scene. It's coming up. Big fan of the March Madness thing. Man, I miss the March Madness. Bears, do they still have a quarterback? I don't think so. This is for Ed and Cody for coming on. They're Cub fans. Go Cubbies. You Cubs or Sox fan? I'm a Cub fan. John?
Cardinals.
The state bird is a Cardinal, but I know. That's fine.
I'm not really all about Missouri, but I'm all about the Cardinals. I can't tell you why.
Okay. Michael Jordan's birthday was this past week. Go MJ. The Blackhawks are playing really good. I'm wearing a Blackhawk thing. Anybody can see that?
Yeah.
Or better fall. Oh, I forgot to do it this way too. Oh.
Wardrobe change, folks, and a scene change. This is a special moment with us.
Oh, I forgot to do
Take it away, Phil.
And
I thought of a good idea for tonight. Since I always give you a minute for sports, and I'm kind of a dick about it, and I make you have that minute, and then I'm kind of like shut you off. And I play the music, and I'm like, oh, it's over, no more sports. I thought we would do the alphabet game, but we would talk about sports stuff. Is that part of the alphabet game? That's right.
That's interesting. Okay, go ahead.
So in the middle of the sports minute, which we're going to extend to like the sports 20 minutes or whatever, we're going to do the alphabet game. We're going to try to see if you remember the ABCs, folks, by naming something of each letter that has to do with sports tonight. Okay, you want to go first?
Okay.
I'll go first. Athletic supporter. A.
Beach ball.
C. Cubbies.
Dodgeball.
E. Error.
Ooh. Fishing.
Okay. G. Grand Prix racing.
Hunting.
I. Interesting sports. No, hold on.
That's good. That works.
Hold on.
Yeah, we only got 1 minute. We have a 1 minute segment. Come on, Bill Murray.
Incredible catch.
Juggling.
K. The Koalas. It's a team from Brisbane.
Okay. Limba. Limboing.
Limbo, like. Ladies and gentlemen, wrestling.
The limba.
Anyway, limbo. M. The Marlins.
And naked streaking dancing.
Did you say naked streaking?
Naked streaking dancing. That's a sport.
Oh, Oriole.
P. Ping pong.
Pittsburgh Penguins is what I was going to say. PQ.
What do you got?
Q. Yeah, I got screwed.
What do you got?
Q. The quick change. Basketball player.
You just came up with it was a James Bond thing. Quick change. Quick change. What is that?
You get Q. You get Q.
Bunch of like a car smells.
Q sports word.
What was
Q. Here, you got Q.
No, you fail. You lose.
Quake. There's probably a team called the Quake somewhere.
No.
That's in California.
No.
Yes, the Quake. That's
You
how they-
lose, I win the painting.
There's no.
No, you lose, I win the
prize.
painting.
It's been already stated. There's no prize for most.
Come
contests.
on, you lose. Either I win the painting or you go off the deck and you jump into the fire.
What painting do you want? You pick it out. You can have it.
Behind you, you're going to jump off the deck and go off the thing in San Diego or the Monterey.
That's already sold. You can't have that.
I know
Pick
it is.
another one.
Congratulations. No, I don't want to do that. No, I'm just teasing you. Okay, what was the letter? Q.
You're an R. I do Q with the Quake.
I have an R.
Made up a name
Rowing.
for a roller derby team.
Come on, hurry up.
Raleigh
R.
Fingers.
Rowing.
Raleigh Fingers.
S-T. T. Towing.
S is first before T.
Okay, you got S.
S.
I have a.
Strike out.
Okay, T. Towing.
If I was gonna do T, if I was a surfer, I'd say totally tubular.
Can't even know the alphabet.
Be U.
U.
The underdog.
V.
Cubs.
V. Vikings.
W. Washington Redskins. I can't say that anymore.
X.
Washington football team.
X is for exactly.
Exactly. Y. Yellow Jackets. That sounds like a team name.
Z is for
It could have been more. Z.
zinc.
ZZ Top, man. That's a cool sports team.
No, you can't do it. That's a band.
What is it? What is ZZ Top? I'm writing up your check right now. I'm typing it. I'm typing your check right now. It'll be in the mail.
All right, sports is over.
You get half the proceeds.
I look like the dude from Beastie Boys.
Folks, sports with Phil, including the alphabet tonight. The Zephyrs. Somebody said Zephyrs for Z. Zephyrs.
The Zephyrs, yeah, Chicago Zephyrs.
Yeah, see, that would have been Chris
That's a
Johnson.
good one.
Give it to Chris Johnson.
We kind of faded there at the end, but anyway.
Yeah, it was funny in the middle. It's always kind of, that's like a joke. It's kind of funny in the middle.
Yeah, I know. We got to, I need a teleprompter or like a sec. I need a
We don't even have lights yet. We didn't get a teleprompter. We don't even have like a professional lighting system. Yeah, I'm using chicken warmers as my light. I got chicken incubating lights here. I swear to God, that's what they are. I got it on tweet. What a show. Cody Dekoff, Mike Lynch, Edward David Anderson, Damon J. Scruggs. Man, a whole bunch of middle names tonight. That was cool. Yeah, Damon, he's a good dude. That was cool to talk to him and invite him on the show. I thought that was pretty different. And snow in Louisiana. I want more beers. I think I'm going to have another beer. What are you going to do tonight? What are you going to do next, Phil?
Oh,
Oh, he's doing better the other way. Oh, he's not doing good.
I'm going to Amazon and
You said what? You said go to the Amazon? I missed that. Oh, tonight's sponsors are Jeff Singley's brand of circus peanuts, Damon Scruggs keyboards, Chicago Farmer hats.
Man, I had some good
David Anderson
pistachio nuts.
speakers, man. Guys, if you can afford
Well, I'm
to-
gonna go look at Amazon at teleprompters. I'm gonna send you the bill.
we're not asking for anything, but if you can help support these musicians we have on the show, folks, get a chance to get a chance to support these musicians. Give them a chance, give them a nod if you can. If you don't, just follow them, check out their live performances. They do tip them if you can. We're lucky to have anybody paying attention to any of this at all.
You know what I'm gonna do, John? Oh, cold beer. I can go for a cold beer. I'm gonna have a cocktail. I'm gonna thaw some shrimp and make some scallops and garlic and butter with some scallions and have some seafood and chillax and watch a movie.
I think I'm gonna throw a hot dog in the microwave and air fry some onion rings.
That sounds even better.
Baseball. You got me talking about sports. I want a hot dog.
Baseball.
I don't know if I'll put it in the microwave. I'll probably cook it differently or something. I'm gonna eat
I
it.
like sports, as you can tell.
Yeah. Big thing.
Yeah, but I love live music. It's gonna happen. You're gonna be at our house more often. It's gonna.
Let's do it together pretty soon. Do something for us is all stupid. Oh, Phil. It's good to see you, bud. I think we're gonna say good night to the people on Facebook or whatever.
We still live?
We are still live, yeah. You want to tell them anything else? You have any last words?
No. I thought Jake was coming up.
I don't think he never got a hold of me. I think he was busy. But we're gonna have him on his own show.
What?
We're gonna bring up some.
Chester, relax.
Let's talk about future guests for just a second because I did talk to Dave Schools this week and he's willing to do the show from Widespread Panic. He's in the middle of production of a whole bunch of Dave Schools of Widespread
Come on,
Panic.
Dave. Come on, Dave. Come on, Dave Schools.
I talked to my buddy Scramble Campbell earlier in the week. Painter from
Fishbone.
Everybody tag Angelo Moore and some shit. Tell him he can come on the show, Angelo Moore from Fishbone. If you got any suggestions for guests, because we're almost running out of friends. We've talked to everybody so far. We need to have Matt Robinson back.
Oh, no. Oh, I didn't bring that up. My friends from Wisconsin, Wise Jennings, wants to come up and play for us. Melissa and Jeff, Wise Jennings, Jeff. Chad, I didn't tell you about that.
Anybody who wants to be on the show, just make a note, give us some comments, or send me a message or something. Don't send me too many messages. I got a lot of messages. It gets overwhelming. I can't keep up with it these days. But
you got a headache? You need a secretary, don't you?
No, I don't want a secretary. I just want to be able to communicate with everybody equally and not forget anybody. And scometimes I'll scroll down.
You know what? I want to be like the B-52s. One of my favorite songs. Roam if you want to. Roam around the world. Roam if you want to. That's what I want to do. Don't we all want to do that? What the hell are we doing? If you're watching my show, what the hell are you doing? Or our show?
It wasn't a rock.
It is, Phil. We want to roam, man. We're stuck in. I'm tired of sitting in this room.
You can offer us any
Son of a bitch. The next time we do this show, we should do it all live. I hope y'all see you.
Only cash. Only cash.
You got cash?
Johnny Cash. No.
Oh, man.
But, pardon me.
That smells. Before you know it, they're going to have Zuma smell-o-vision.
Hey, thanks everybody for tuning in tonight, man. Tommy Dean, Jeff Singley, Easton Bishop, Chris Johnson, all of our good friends that came in and said hi. Pink, Catchpole, everybody came in. We saw Pink tonight and Eric, Phil.
Hey, Pink, I got the garden sense. I'll give you a call. I got the phone. Yeah, I'm trying to set up something. Yeah, I'll see you.
Like week 3.
What, 3?
You've been saying that since like week 3. The whole thing about Pink's garden sign. You need to get those two.
No, it's only been a week.
And the hero of tonight's show is our friend Jeff Singley, who can eat more circus peanuts than any man should ever eat. And we can't wait to see you, Jeff.
Hey, Janine, I heard you were sowing seeds in like 4 feet of snow. What the hell was that? You know, it probably. I like that. I missed that sound. You know what the great sound was? Screw that. Hi, Janine. Hi, Pink. Hey, Pink Flip. The birds chirping today, man. And it was snow blinding how white it is out here in Aurora. And it's brutally beautiful. So we made a maze for the dog. So yeah, it was pretty beautiful. So what are you trying to say? Are we out of here, John?
Well, folks, we are going to let Facebook go. Tell them we love them. Tell David Zuckerberg that he can eat a shoe. And thank you. And good night from Chicago. No, from Phil and Jon Zone. Have a good night, you guys. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We'll see you next
Thank
week.
you, everybody, for coming into the Phil and
next
Jon
week, Phil.
Zone. I miss you all.
Before we go, I want to tell you something, Phil.
Yeah.
Love you, man.
Love you too, John.
Everyone,
I miss all my friends, whoever watched. We're a bunch of, we're just, miss you all.
Next week is week 42, and we have some guests lined up on Wednesday or something whenever I figure that out. And
thank you, Cody. Thank you, Ed. Thank you, Mike.
I've barely had enough. Oh yeah, and tonight go to Mike Lynch's page. Mike Lynch, INCH. And in about a few minutes, he's going to start his show. And we're just going to all parade over there after we leave here. And
At least you got the right time. It's Canadian time, you know. Hey there.
He's in the Central Time Zone with us. Everybody was in Central Time Zone tonight. This is Living on Central Time. This is a Central Time show. And if you're not in Central Time, that's fine. But we, tune in to Mike Lynch.
This is for Wavy Dave and Sakura. Go Blackhawks!
Wavy Dave,
Canada. No, not.
What? Wavy Dave, get off work early so you can be on the show. Hey, Phil, tell the people happy at home. Don't go anywhere.